Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hello. Sorry for the delay. Welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome back to J is for Justice. It's been a minute for some of you. We just ended another stream and came over to this one. So it just took me a minute or two to get things set up. So I appreciate you guys waiting. Plus, Dr. Melmo sent me some shocking photos that kind of set me back for a minute or two. She sent me some pretty disturbing pictures of Kayla from her Facebook. I'm like, oh my God. She said sorry in advance, but hey, I'm here. Everything's good, like my dumpster fire says. Look, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. We are all fine. This case is an absolute dumpster fire. From the sheriff to the Mexican ladies with their little rods to everything. We have a dumpster fire on our hands, and I got this today from Penny. Miss Farthing in the chat, thank you so much. She sent me the dumpster fire and some Coke Zeros. Thank you again, Penny. It's a hot mess. It's a dumpster fire. It's our own dumpster fire. So if you guys could hit the like button, we're doing a call-in show tonight. Hopefully some of you will call in and give your theories and your thoughts on this case. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm not going to, without further ado, I will put them open. The number is 727-755-6001. You can give me a call. You just let me know where you're calling from, who you are, and make sure your YouTube is muted. Make sure your YouTube's muted because we'll have a horrible echo and it'll hurt everybody's ears. So just make sure your YouTube is muted and give me a call, 727-755-6001. So how are you guys doing tonight? We'll chit-chat until we get our first caller. How come our chat box is not up on the screen, guys? What's going on? There we are. Hello, Casey. Good to see you. The number is 1-800-CALL-FBI. If you have any information about the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. That chat is really, really big. But yeah, so we really have, we have our first call. We have our first caller. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey Jay, my name, in your YouTube chat, I go by the Sparky Pilot. You may have seen me float through
Sparky,
every so often.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, not too bad. I hope you are doing well over in Florida too. I'm calling from Tacoma, Washington, so
nice.
Other side of the country from you.
How's the weather in Washington?
Where I'm at, it's just been cold and windy, but today we got some sun breaks. Been rainy, kind of classic for our part of the country.
That's what I've heard. I've never had the pleasure of visiting there. I'd like to, but I heard it's overcast and drizzly.
Yeah. Yep. Classic rain. My sister was visiting from Chicago this week, and I joked with her that she dragged all the Chicago cold weather over here because we got a little snow this week too.
Chicago. Love Chicago.
Yes, I know. Me too. It's awesome. But yeah, this case, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, man, gosh, my gut feeling still says that there's something with the family or extended family in some way. And I know that the sheriff has cleared them, and I realize that, chat, please don't roast me. But it's just,
they won't,
not here, yeah, that's true. You have such a nice chat, by the way. I'm so happy and blessed to have found it.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, definitely. But I really think, there could be different reasons that we haven't heard from Samantha Guthrie or the other family members, maybe reasons that I'm not aware of, but it just feels like a lot of stuff's getting held close to the vest, things that could potentially help the public, keep their eyes peeled for things. And it just is really weird that there has just been complete radio silence, at least from what I've seen from both the FBI and the sheriff. I just, it's really sad. If this was my grandma, I'd be freaking out every single day on the air every day, every hour of the day.
So do you think the Guthries are getting updates, and that's why they're not speaking out, because they're maybe they know more than we do?
That's a good question that actually crossed my mind this afternoon too. I would agree with you on that.
Because if I wasn't hearing anything, possible. I would be making videos. I would be, posting, sharing the flyer, all of that.
Right. Yeah. So something must be happening. Maybe they are getting some updates and they don't feel like it's needed for them to go out in public, which is fine. And I just really hope they find her and can bring her home and have their mother and grandma back. The whole thing is just really, really awful and terrifying, and it's just uncalled for,
I agree with you there.
I have one more comment before I let you go.
Sure.
And I know there's a lot of folks who have floated through in various chats saying, oh, well, why is this getting so much coverage? This shouldn't get so much coverage. I think it's really good this is getting coverage because, issues with elder abuse is not just, happening to the Guthries right now. It's a topic that does happen. And I think that the case, as sad as it is bringing some attention to that, which I think is a good thing,
Mm-hmm. Hey,
so I appreciate
even if
the coverage of it.
Even if one elderly person gets a Ring camera and it saves them from a predator, then it's worth it.
Amen, sister. Exactly.
I'm with you.
Exactly. Now, I was thinking about getting it for my parents. They're senior citizens too, and like hell, I'm gonna let something happen to them if it's within my power. So this has really been an eye-opening thing for me too. Just what can happen.
Me too. I don't have my parents anymore, but we did go through these phases with them, and I think back and I think, wow. My parents could have been vulnerable like Nancy, if somebody, you just don't know.
Yep.
So yeah, it is an eye-opener. Thank you so much, Sparky.
So, of course. Yeah. Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Good luck on chat. I'll see you in chat in a minute.
Okay. Bye, Spark.
Bye. Bye-bye.
That was Sparky. I always call her, hey, Sparky. 727-755-6001. What a great caller. Call and let me know what you think. What do you guys think about that? I think the awareness is definitely a good thing. Can never be a bad thing. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, this is Michelle Salter.
Well, hello, Miss Michelle. It's nice to talk to you.
Well, thank you. I actually made some notes earlier today, and so now I'm looking at them and I'm thinking they're a little disjointed, but
let's talk about them.
Things that, well, these are things that I've been yelling at my iPad screen while I'm working. And so in regards to Nancy's car, I think it had been discussed that she didn't drive at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I can appreciate that because of my age, I'm developing some night blindness. And so with that being said, I wonder if the fender bender that has been discussed on her vehicle may have been part of that conclusion that Nancy shouldn't be driving at night. And then the other thing is some conversations that I've heard regarding her taking an Uber there to her Annie and Tommaso's home didn't seem incredibly uncommon. That maybe they're cooking dinner, they're getting things ready, and she may have said, hey, I'll just take an Uber there, and they were, oh, that's great, and then we'll give you a ride home. So that was a thought that I had.
Yeah, fair, right? That they're busy and just like, hey, we'll grab you an Uber. It's a few bucks.
Right. And then the other thoughts that I had were the only few minutes of the garage opening and closing. And I don't know the exact statistic of
2
2
minutes.
minutes. So that bothered me, and here's why. So if my son or daughter-in-law were dropping me off at home, I would expect that they would at least put the car in park and walk in with me through the man door of the garage, the door that connects from the inside of the garage to the interior of the home, and just make sure, hey, you okay? Do you need me to stick around while you get your jammies on? Or whatever may have been a normal routine when they brought her home. So that kind of bothered me that there was only these few minutes.
That bothered me too for several reasons. It bothered me because I think it would take longer for 2 minutes. Like if the door was open and she was dropped off outside the door, it would take her longer than 2 minutes to get in and then close it. But then the other thing that bothered me was the original report from the very beginning. I think it was February 2nd. TMZ reported that Tommaso drove her home, waited in the car while made sure she made it inside, then drove away. So then that changed.
So that could be suspicious or just a high level of confidence from previous experiences of taking her home and dropping her off. So that bothers me. And I just want to say that anything I say, I don't have a period at the end of any of this as far as what I think is a solid conclusion of what may or may not have happened. I just want to generate some conversation and have an opportunity to say, oh my gosh, I work from home, and so I'm listening to you, and I'm like, oh, anyway.
Well, I appreciate you, Michelle, and I love the notes that you took. I mean, all those things don't make sense, and that's part of why we can't really believe the timeline, because now they've changed so many things too. They've changed who brought her home, and not only that, they made it where the doorbell camera disconnects at 1:47, but then the person is seen at 2:12. So it's like, what? It's just so many, it's like a tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah, you just kind of tip your head like a dog does with your ears up.
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
what?
Exactly.
So then the other thing, and I lean back on this pretty hard, I think, and I don't know what the percentage would be of Annie, but I think Annie and Tommaso are somehow involved regarding personal financial problems. And, it's that whole thing of, what are the motives? And financial seems, to me, a pretty, no, I don't want to say obvious, but could be a potential motive. And I really hate even saying this out loud, even though I'm thinking it in my head. But financial problems can lead to possible elder abuse. And that doesn't mean that it has to be physical abuse. There's a lot of other types of elder abuse, and it can lead back to the financial component, that maybe they were dipping into her money and it was more than what they had authorization to do so, and maybe it was going to get found out. And then the other thing I wonder about is if this was an attempted stage kidnapping and it just went completely sideways, and there's just no rhyme or reason to any of it. And then I know a lot of us listen to and appreciate Brian Enton, and he seems to really get some great interviews with, as an example, previous retired FBI individuals. And there was, I think his most recent interview was with a retired FBI profiler. and he was talking about the Savannah component, about how possibly a stalker for her. And then he leaned back into some different cases that are well known about stalkers. They're not the smartest criminals, and how maybe there's this component in all of it. And so I'm just
well,
trying
and if you
to
think about it, Michelle, like like Savannah has an ex-husband, and from her own words, it was such a distraught, like, divorce that she won't even talk about it. So they got to go back and look at all of these people, because who knows? I'm sure she has big fans that could come across as creepy sometimes, and they got to look into all that. And there's so many avenues.
I loved that you brought the Maureen. I can't think of her last name right off the tip of my tongue. How she talked about how it's being discussed that, and I think it's been even presented now in the media, that Savannah's more than likely not going to return to the Today Show.
Yeah.
Because of all of this. And there's been a little tongue in cheek about, Hoda copy.
Yeah.
Probably had something to do with it. And I know that that's silly and ridiculous, but it really gets you to thinking about the ripple effect of this whole situation with her mother, which is so incredibly devastating and sad. And then just one more thing before I let the call go to someone else is the authorities saying that the family has been cleared. I really think that is a ploy to us as the public, so that possibly who they may have a side eye to within the family is that they're lifting that pressure off of the family, so that whoever may be involved would maybe start making mistakes.
Very plausible.
And so I just really wonder about that. And that was something that was said in an interview with one of the FBI profilers, is, the things to look for with someone that's possibly involved. How did their routine change up to and since then?
Yep. It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks. And if anybody that lives there, they think the person's in Tucson, they keep saying it, 3 weeks, that person would be acting different than they did before this happened.
Right.
Or look different,
Right.
Something.
Right. Just things that we as a personal friend of someone would go, oh, wait a minute. That now I'm starting to connect some dots.
For sure.
So
I agree. Well, thank you, Michelle.
And then just seriously, one more last thing.
Okay.
JLR was never, he was always in my peripheral. I love how he is it called gonzo reporting?
Gonzo journalism.
Gonzo journalism. I love how he is so tenacious. I love that he got a canopy today.
I know, that's awesome.
People are really reaching out to him, and his genuine motivations are there to bring something very valid to the whole situation, especially with the YouTuber component. And I just think he's lovely and seems incredibly genuine, and he's doing his darndest to bring the YouTube community, true crime community together. And I really appreciate that.
I agree with you. And I think that he's, kind of being the example. And I think he's leaving a really good example for the rest of us. And I appreciate that as well.
Yeah. 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 And so whenever you're ready, I'm up for a palate cleanser so we can do some hidden true crime.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm ready. I'm there.
Palate cleanser.
Palate cleanser.
Well, Well, and then the previous caller was from Tacoma, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I am from Wenatchee, Washington, which is central Washington. And so people get us mixed up with, quote unquote, Seattle. And we've had crazy weather here. It's sunshine and then it's snowing. And I have to call my son and say, what is this white foreign stuff coming out of the sky? Oh, yeah, that's snow.
That's snow.
That's snow. But anyway, I just so love that I have found you and your channels and the community. And thank you so much for letting me ramble on. And now I'm going to go pour a glass of wine.
Well, you do it, lady. I don't think you rambled on at all. I think your notes are on point, and a lot of things, people in chat, I've been reading it, and they agree. So,
great.
Yeah, you guys
take good care.
You too, honey.
And appreciate all the work that you're doing.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
You too.
Isn't she lovely? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. All right, let's open it back up and see who else we've got. 727-755-6001. I concur. I think JLR is leading the way to a good example for how the YouTubers are, 727-755-6001. I think Michelle just misses the roasts and the laughs and the palate cleansers and the fun. This has been pretty draining for everyone, It really has. It's been draining. I mean, we're all watching from home and we're drained. We got media out front and JLR and everybody else who's out there from YouTube and other platforms, and a lot of unappreciated deputies out there doing their job as well. We've got a caller. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, I made it through.
You
This is
did.
Heather Rose. I'm calling from
Hello.
Houston.
Hello, Heather Rose from Houston.
How are you?
I'm
I've been
good.
following you off and on since the Chris Watts case.
Oh, you've seen it all. You've seen it all.
Literally. Remember the Watts in the Shadows? I was one of the early ones that saw that video.
Oh, God. And the armchair detective and all that.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. And I think that in that case was handled so well by the DA, the investigators. I mean, early on, they got the press in there to interview him.
They did,
because
yes.
they suspected him.
And he was like putty in their hands,
Oh, my gosh.
He was literally just like, talk to me,
So when they dumped when someone dumped that video, the surveillance video, I wondered if it wasn't someone in the CBI or FBI wanting someone to see it and make an issue out of it. Because I know, having a friend who worked in the FBI, that they do stuff like that.
Yeah. So
and my brother was an attorney, and he used the internet sometimes before his cases to gather information.
I wish, the only thing I wish is that it would have went to trial, because I would have liked to know more about Nicole and if she was going to be like a protected witness.
Yeah, that's true. But boy, wasn't that DA great in allowing people to see all the evidence?
Yeah. I mean,
Afterwards.
I think there's still more we haven't seen.
Yeah. But,
from Nicole's side of the investigation.
Right.
I think it would have revealed maybe a lot more. Not necessarily, I don't know if she was there, but there's just a lot of what ifs with that.
Questions. Yeah. But remember how it was in the beginning? Everybody thought that Shanann was the one who killed the kids.
I believed his first confession. I was one of them, like an idiot.
I was on that page too until until he was arrested, and then it was like,
Girl, I'm telling you, all those videos of him with those girls, I thought, there is no way.
No way. And she looked sus with all of her what was it, Thrive stuff.
She was all caught up in the MLM, yeah.
I was leaning that way, and then it all came out, and I was like, oh, boy, was I wrong. And my eyes were open to a new kind of evil, and I can't close them.
Yeah. He's one, I think, that really shocked a lot of us that followed it from the very beginning, because we saw this guy that looked like such a great dad and such a great guy, that it was just like, he's the one, the unsuspecting one that you would never think.
The covert narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then look at all the cases since then.
I know it.
So when I hear people like this sheriff, I call him Sheriff Nonsense, because I think he is spewing a little bit more than he needs to.
Nonsense.
But what I look for now is what they're not telling us, what we're not hearing. And we're not hearing a lot about Annie's timeline.
You know what else we're not hearing? We're not hearing about what kind of vehicle.
Her car.
And her car is impounded, and it's like, what? Do you have the vehicle already? I mean, what is that?
That's what the interview room has been talking about. Find out where her car is. Is it still impounded? Because if it is, that's a big flag.
Yeah.
Because they won't keep it unless they're holding it for trial or evidence.
Exactly.
So I've just learned a lot through these channels now.
Well, and how about the Range Rover? What do you think of the Range Rover when you saw them tape that thing up?
I don't know what to think about that. I'm just going to go with what Ashley Banfield said early on, because it makes sense. And having gone through this myself in my own personal life, people lead double lives.
Yeah.
Annie may not have been aware of any of this. Her mother may have stumbled into some things and was going to tell her. You just never know.
Yeah,
because
you don't.
People really do lead double lives, and when people get desperate, they do desperate things. So,
and it's usually with money too,
Exactly. And with people who are addicted to drugs and things, money becomes an issue, and it changes them. It changes their mentality, and they'll do things that you never would have thought they would do. So, Sheriff Nonsense may have cleared them, but I haven't.
Same.
Now, I can see where maybe Annie didn't know. I can see a side where maybe she didn't know what was going on. It was all
But now she does. Like, even if she didn't know then, now she would be taking a step back going, okay, this is most likely happening.
Yeah. Here's what I find interesting, though. She has not been on camera. Cameron went out there and made his plea. Savannah went out there and made her plea.
She
but
didn't.
I have not seen Annie on camera.
No, she hasn't.
And that tells me a lot, because, like I said, these cases over the past few years, that's how they catch people.
Yeah.
They look at their body language.
And you know what I've learned, too, to look at, like, one thing's different than the other. Like, one person's different than the other. And if you look at the three siblings, one is different than the other. And I think it's because she has some kind of knowledge.
Yep. I think we're on the same page.
Unfortunately, I do too. And,
it's too common.
And if it was a thing where, Nancy was maybe throwing her money here and there and then cut them off, I mean, there's things like that. We just don't know the dynamics and what people's finances look like. And
Exactly. And just because Savannah may be making a lot of money doesn't mean her mom, although her mom, I think her mom was pretty well off, and it's still enough for someone to want to do her in. But I thought of something today when I was watching those two women thinking they need no trespassing signs on that property. But, and I was thinking, Savannah needs to put signs on that property. And then the paralegal in me realized that Savannah doesn't own that property. she doesn't have a legal right to that property. She can't.
Right.
It's still in, as far as I know, because I don't, we don't really know the ins and outs. There might be a power of attorney, who knows? But without a power of attorney over that property is still owned by Nancy. And Nancy's the only legal rightful owner who can do something like that, other than the law, the sheriff, But I do wonder, why haven't they put no trespassing signs around that property? Because it's just, with all this media attention. Let me tell you, I went through, after that Chris Watts thing, was the Deputy Goforth murder that happened here in Houston. And the police officer that got shot, and the sheriff came out, and the first thing he was talking about was BLM, and it didn't turn out to be that at all. But we had people coming from all over, and I lived just around the corner from where that happened. We had people coming from all over the country to see where he was shot. It was a circus. And it made a lot of us feel unsafe, because, you just have these people coming in, and you don't know who's really there with good intentions and who's there with not so good intentions. Some people are there just to case the place.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's why they're not putting no trespassing signs. Maybe they want to see who comes out.
Who's going to show up. Yeah, that could be. I was thinking of that today about those two women. I was thinking, maybe they're not really looking for her body. Maybe they're looking for something the guy dropped.
Well, they were putting that thing in the ground, though, and smelling it. I think they think they can smell like deceased body in the soil.
Yeah, you're not going to get that in that desert. Let me tell you, I've done too much research into desert wildlife, and they can eat a body pretty. I mean, we haven't found Emmanuel Harrow yet, and there are a lot of coyotes in her neighborhood.
Is that a baby, Emmanuel Harrow?
That was the baby a couple of months ago.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for people to get rid of a baby than an 84-year-old woman.
But still, when I read that a pack of coyotes can eat a deer in 12 hours.
Yeah, and it's not just
wild. Coyotes. It's not just coyotes. They have mountain lions in that area.
I didn't like those coyotes screaming that one night. It's like they were rejoicing in whatever they were doing. It was very... It really gave me goosebumps, to be honest with you.
Well, I've heard that when they have prey, when they catch, they really howl to bring the pack, to alert the pack that they've got something to eat. So I don't know.
So scary.
With the dryness of that desert, with how prickly everything is around there, and with all of the wildlife, the coyotes and the mountain lions, it wouldn't take long for a body to disappear. So I think what they need to focus on when it comes to these searches is trying to find that pacemaker.
And it seems like that's what they're doing. It seems like that grid search the other day, I don't think they would ever admit on TV or, to the public that they're looking for Nancy at a landfill. I mean, that would be so insensitive to Savannah, with her position. Yeah. I don't think they would ever admit that, even if it was.
Yeah. Well, when they went and they searched Annie's neighborhood door to door, I'm wondering if that's not what they were doing. Were they walking in with their cell phones and hoping to see if their Bluetooth would connect to something?
Could be. I mean, they could have been doing, a lot of things at once, for sure. Doing that and, asking for videos or permission. They could have been doing a lot of things at once when they walk around that neighborhood. And, that makes me think further. You know how we heard that they were supposedly canvassing? Yes. Could they have been in a certain area, looking for that signal, and we just weren't aware of it?
Probably.
Because we didn't see anybody canvassing.
Yeah, because they wouldn't want a lot of other Bluetooth devices in that area either.
Right.
They'd want it somewhat clean. But yeah, the other thing I thought of was, remember how the sheriff said that at 212, another house security cam picked up movement.
Mm-hmm.
He never said it was Nancy's house security camera. That was kind of assumed. So when those FBI agents went out to the house next door and were whatever they were doing with those motion lights, I started wondering, was it another's house camera?
Like the neighbor?
Yes. It picked up motion at 212. Was that what he was talking about?
I mean, that could
not
be.
Another camera. I mean, there's
not
just so
hers
much.
necessarily, right?
Right, but that one next door, maybe.
They really paid a lot of attention over there next door.
They did. They were testing something on that motion light.
Yeah.
All I can say is my mom was 84 when she passed away here about over 10 years ago. And I worried so much in her last years. She had, after my dad died, we had her install a security system with lights and sound. Ring camera wasn't out then, so we didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But we made sure it had, motion sensors, lights, sound, and it would call the police.
Yeah.
If you didn't punch the code in soon enough, right? And I'm just thinking, why didn't she have that? Are people just relying on these Ring cameras now?
They might be. And I mean, quite frankly, if you think about it, she's been there since 1975. And
that's how my mom was.
And nothing's ever happened. So
that's how my mom, she refused to leave her home. But we made sure it was secure,
Yeah, my parents had a Ring doorbell. My mom and dad, we got them the life thing. My dad did not want to wear the necklace thing. So we got him the watch, but we had to stay on him to put it on. I'd go over to my mom's house, where's your thing? It's just it's a constant struggle. They don't want to lose their independence, So I get that. And I really feel like Nancy was one of those, from that article I read about her friends, saying that she was just determined to walk to that mailbox, whether she needed help or not. She was going to walk from point A to point B to get her mail. That tells me that she would be like, no, I want to age in place. I want to stay home. And
that was what my parents were.
And unfortunately, when you want to stay at home, you got to have someone who's going to look after you. So the question is, was there someone designated to look after her? Was there a deal between the siblings, or, did they hire someone to come in that got close with the family? We don't even know if there's another person. We know they didn't live there, but was there another person that would come in and assist? We don't know.
Or even a neighbor. You would think that she would have neighbors that she could call upon in an emergency.
Yeah.
But where my mind goes to is, if she was taking warfarin, which I think she probably was with that pacemaker, and not so much with the pacemaker because my dad had a pacemaker and he didn't take blood thinners, but my mom took blood thinners.
Yeah, and both my parents did.
She had a heart arrhythmia,
and
she was at risk for stroke if she didn't. I'm wondering if maybe she wasn't slipped a little bit too much warfarin in her dinner, because that would cause her to bleed out. And maybe she started bleeding out and called somebody in the middle of the night to take her to the doctor. But instead of taking her to the doctor, they took her somewhere else. I don't know. This is just where my mind goes.
I know. And then you can go down a billion different avenues. I do the same thing.
I've seen it all. I rule nothing out. And so I'm sorry. I don't care what Sheriff Nonsense says. They're not cleared in my mind. They're not cleared. No, not until I know the whole story. I'm not clearing them.
Yep. And especially with the report saying that it come in on the 31st at 7 p.m. I'm really, really suspect of that.
Did she really make it home alive or conscious? You know,
I don't know.
Criminal minds, and if they knew that her pacemaker was tied to that watch, they would know how to. I can see where someone would think they knew how to set this up to look like a kidnapping, but it wasn't. Just for the inheritance.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I've seen it in my own family. I'm just gonna admit it. I've seen it with my own.
Can I share a theory that I have with you and get your opinion?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So I kind of have an opinion that maybe Nancy was expressing, that she didn't want to move because we saw her house on the market in 2024.
Oh.
It was on the market for like 4 or 5 months. Then it was taken off. And then 3 months later, Annie and Tommaso bought their home by Nancy. So my conclusion is maybe she didn't want to move and they made a deal like, okay, Annie and Tommaso will buy this house closer to mom. They'll be right there. They'll be able to check in on her. And then, so they do that. The house, they move in. And I wonder if one of the two didn't start dipping into mom's money.
Oh, it's absolutely a possibility. Like I said, I've seen it in my own family.
Or strong-arming her,
Yeah.
threatening her, being mean to her. I don't see Annie maybe playing so much of a part of that, but maybe her husband,
Oh, I could see Annie doing. I'm just going to share something.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I have an older sister who's had emotional issues her whole life, pretty much. I literally saw my older sister try to choke her mother to death.
Yeah, so it happens a lot.
I don't put anything past anybody until I know all the details. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and until
for sure.
I know what their relationship was
I don't know them.
like. And the whole time it was happening, Jay, the whole time it was happening, my mother was sitting there yelling, "Just let her kill me, just let her kill me." I mean, it traumatized me for the rest of my life.
That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
It did. I was, because my sister was a stalker. She stalked her ex-husband, she stalked me, she stalked anybody and everybody, and still does. And there's people out there like that. And she's a registered nurse.
And you know what? It's really easy to get away with shit like that when you have siblings that aren't in the same state, that are extremely busy, like Savannah.
Yep. That aren't really tuned in, or and the parents will hide stuff.
Sure.
Things would happen with my sister that my parents, when I lived out of state, wouldn't share with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's that protective mother. There's still that protective motherly instinct that's your child. And I know with my mom, she often.
My mom was a
say,
peacekeeper too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she felt guilty. She thought maybe she had done something to cause it.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's sad.
Because we grew up in the era of spare the rod, spoil the child. So,
well, my mom was always the peacemaker. She wanted all of us. We were 6 of us, so she would never listen to the bitching of, I'd come to her bitching about a sibling. She'd be like,
yeah, that was my dad. So I've seen it all, Jay. The possibilities are endless. But the more I have heard, the more I just don't think that the cartel kidnapping her to Mexico. I don't think that's possible.
Me either.
We'd see the body by now, right? Either they'd be demanding the ransom or we'd see the body.
Yeah, nobody's demanding this money anymore from what we know.
Yeah,
so
that's just dry, isn't it? Where'd that go?
Right, where did that go?
Yeah, and a burglary gone wrong. Come on. No one's going to burgle that house in the middle of the night when they can't even see where they're going.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. No. And nothing was taken from what we know.
No, not as far as we know. So I'm still leaning more. I think Ashley Banfield had a scoop.
I do too. I'm still sticking with it. I'm not giving up yet because I haven't seen proof of anything else panning out or clearing him. I mean, he is one of the last people, if not the last person to watch her walk through the door of her home, and he's never said shit? I mean,
have we even seen him?
No, he hasn't been seen since the Tuesday after her disappearance, February 2nd.
And where is he? Everybody keeps saying, oh, he's in Italy, or he's there, or he's there.
Does anybody know?
I don't know. I hope the sheriff knows.
Oh, my God.
Maybe that's it. So maybe really keeping good tabs on him.
If we're counting on the sheriff to keep tabs on him, we're in trouble.
And hoping, well, the investigators, and hoping that, I'm just hoping that, they're keeping tabs on him and hoping this media dies down so they can catch him at something. It's going to take, I think the FBI is building their case with CAST. And that's why they've made a couple of missteps with that. I think it's going to be like Brian Kohberger. They're building their cell phone data and card. Remember with the guy in South Carolina, the attorney, Murdoch.
Yeah.
They got him on his car.
Yeah.
All that data.
They could even even tell when he turned his phone vertical and horizontal. Yes. And also, girl, with the car, they can tell when the doors were opened, when those doors were closed. I mean, they can get so much data. So if they said literally Tommaso drove her home in Annie's car or whatever, I don't know if they have more than one car, but if he said he drove her home, sat there for 2 minutes and drove back home, they should be able to get that from the data in his car.
Yep. Who knows? They could have driven her home in her car. If they only had the one car, someone may have borrowed Nancy's car, and that's why she had to take an Uber. But then I don't know. The possibilities are endless. They're endless. And we're just not getting all the data because they don't want us to know because they're building a case.
Yeah, I feel like the dinner thing on Saturday night, this is my thought. I feel like the dinner on Saturday night could have been a ruse to get her out of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting is that house has floodlights all over.
Right.
And they only knocked out that one.
Right. But
how do those floodlights work? Are they motion activated? I mean,
I don't know.
There's just so much we don't know. We don't know. They don't want us to know. We don't need to know until they get somebody caught. And I think that's what they're doing. I think in the background, the investigators at the FBI
you know what I would love to ask? I know, I hate to cut you off, but you know what I would love to ask her friends that she played mahjong with?
I would
love to just ask, do you find it feasible that Nancy would take an Uber to her daughters?
Yeah.
And if they said, oh dear, no, I want to know if they believe that she took an Uber.
How was she supposed to get to that get together on Sunday morning?
That I don't know either. Was she supposed to
drive?
Was
she going to drive herself?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I want.
Because no one showed up to pick her up. They just said she didn't show up at the friends.
So they were expecting her to
They were expecting her to show up. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have so many questions, and they all lead back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
The children, the two children, they really do. So
I want to know if she had a dog, because I heard a rumor that she had a dog that died in December.
Yeah.
And if that's true, that bothers me because dogs bark when you come to someone's house, and that may have given her another layer of protection. And if she lost her dog, and then if it's true that on January 11th, that person was there with no backpack staking out the house, then maybe that was intended to scare her enough to say, oh my goodness, I don't feel safe here anymore. And it didn't work.
Did you hear that she wears hearing aids?
High-powered hearing aids.
Yes. Which is more of a reason for her to have a security alarm in that house, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if maybe Annie and Tommaso weren't helping to pay her bills, or if she had her Ring camera set up on a renewal or something, and somebody went in and changed it. Why was that subscription not active?
That's another thing, right? Okay, so Nancy's paying for the pool people, which keeps the property value up by taking care of the pool. She pays the landscapers, which keeps her property value up. She probably had a house cleaner, which obviously and then she also had some work done, some extensive electrical work done in January. And I gotta wonder if that wasn't something that was solidifying her staying in that house by putting that investment into the home. And if there were certain family members who were against her having that work done and instead of moving out of the house and selling it.
Yeah, that I can see that. I'm going to go back to my sister. When my parents, and this was before their health was even an issue, that anytime they would spend any money on the grandchildren, my sister didn't have any children, but when they would spend money on the other grandchildren, my sister would accuse them of spending her inheritance.
Yeah, I've been there
and this
too.
This was before my parents were even in any kind of ill health. So I'm telling you, I've seen it all. I've heard it all. I don't trust people as far as I can see anymore.
I don't either. I'm with you. People can do some ungodly things for money.
I have literally slept with the enemy and not known it. And so you just never know. You never know. So anyway, those are my thoughts. I have enjoyed your show over the years.
Thank you.
Every one of these cases, I say, I'm not going to get sucked into that rabbit hole because it just brings all the trauma back from my own past.
I understand, and I'm really sorry that you went through that.
No,
I've been through something similar, and it sucks. It sucks.
I think that's why this community is what it is. My theory is we all read Nancy Drew books when we were younger, and we've all been through some kind of family trauma.
Yeah.
And that's what draws us to these stories, because we do care. We don't want to see other people suffer the way we have.
True.
We want the world to be right.
True.
And it's not going to be right until Jesus comes back. So God bless us all.
Amen.
Especially you, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you for your call.
Have a good evening.
Appreciate you. I liked your conversation. It kind of made me bring out my theory a little bit. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate yours. Makes me feel normal.
Right? We're not alone. All right. Have a good night.
I'm crazy after all.
Right.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. What amazing caller. It seems like a lot of you guys agreed with a lot that she was saying. Thank you so much. 727-755-6001. If you were trying to get through, now the call line is open for you. 727-755-6001. There's so much we don't know, so we have to look at what we don't know, and I think we always have to start with the last person to see the person that's missing or the person that was hurt. Just is what it is. You are live on Air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
It's Gaylin.
I'm sorry, say that again?
It's Gaylin. We've been going back
Gaylin,
and forth
hey.
with the cadaver dog.
I thought you said Nancy Lynn at first. I was like, Nancy Lynn. Hey, Gaylin. Good to hear ya.
Good to hear you, too.
So what's on your mind, girl?
You know what? I've been reading so much not true information going back and forth with the search teams and cadaver dogs. We call them HRD dogs, human remains detection. And so I thought, as a retired veterinarian and also as an HRD handler and trainer, I could answer some questions and kind of clear the air. Because people think that they can do so much they can't do, and what if we're allowed to just show up, So I thought I would answer some of those questions that people had. She's doing a call in, I'll pull over and give her a call and see what happens.
I appreciate that. So as far as the dogs that were involved in Nancy's search, right? We heard that they brought in the Border Patrol K9 unit.
That is correct.
So
that's correct. And those dogs are not for
cadaver use. Cadaver dogs, according to the federal government and the court systems, have to only be trained on cadaver scent, human cadaver scent, which smells very much different from every other creature that passes away because of what we eat and how we eat things and how we decay. It's very different. So let's say my dog finds something and I had trained it on some clove or anise or some of the things that people would not be considered credible in a court of law because my dog could have smelled clove or anise. So the dogs that you saw that the Border Patrol brought in are tracking dogs. So, and they do drugs, they did human tracking is in trying to find humans. So that shirt that you saw was probably put in a Ziploc bag, left there in probably a heated car. The hotter it is, in a heated car or something like that, and then opened up and let the dog smell it, and it contained, in a Ziploc bag or whatever they used. So they get a really strong odor, and they're famous for just discarding things because they work on the border. They're in a rush if they're trying to find somebody. It's a very different system. Those are tracking dogs. Those were not cadavers.
Do you have a reason why they would call in the Border Patrol dogs versus like a private group, or like does the sheriff? I mean, I don't know about the Pima County Sheriff, but a lot of the sheriff's department have their own canines.
They do, but they don't. A lot of them have lost the funding to have a dedicated cadaver dog. It's expensive. I mean, I've got two certified ones, and I'm private. I mean, all mine is charitable work. I mean,
so it was probably quicker to get the Border Patrol dogs in.
It's quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 45 minutes away. You call Border Patrol and you go, hey, can you help us? Can you track this lady?
So I have a specific question about the blue shirt, and I don't know if you can answer it, but maybe you can try.
I'll try.
Yeah.
Try.
So we saw where it was left, right, on the rocks. Do you think that was the starting point of where the dogs sniffed and then left from that point?
No, I think that was them taking it out of whatever bag or anything they had it on, or letting the dogs get a good smell of it and then just tossing it aside and seeing where the dogs went. That would have been their starting place.
Because I just wondered that, because when we saw the blood on the sidewalk, the last drip of blood was right around that area where the shirt was. So I just wondered if that was if that would mean anything. I don't know.
It's just usually their starting point. Like I said, I can't fault. I mean, my brother's a U.S. Marshal. I mean, I can't fault them for anything. They're in a hurry. They're just grinding through this. It sounds awful, and I realize it sounds awful, but they're just grinding through this stuff.
Yeah. Someone had a question in chat real quick. They want to know, how are dogs trained to smell cadaver?
I have pieces of human skin, bones, teeth, in a special freezer in my garage.
Human?
And human. I can't see the chat because I don't have my phone pulled up to do that because I'm on the phone. You see the chat right now, probably don't ask me a question.
Someone
if you
needs
don't
to
want to
check
hear
this.
the brutal.
Someone needs to check this lady's freezer.
I know. That's just the thing. My husband keeps going, this is just wrong, right? Wrong. And I'm like, this is what we train on. I have documentation for every sample that I have. And so it's kept in the freezer, and 3 times a week I pull out what I need for about an hour, depending on the time of year where I'm working. And then we train.
Where do you buy human skin?
You can get them from research facilities. You can get them from when somebody donates their body. There are places,
I mean,
when
I
you
guess
donate
they have
your
to
body.
be trained on the real thing.
They have to be trained on the real thing. I mean, it's like you can't just fake a smell. I mean, it's because they won't consider it credible.
I mean, that's something I've never thought of.
Yeah, there is a company who just got certified that they take these special plastic tubes. It's proprietary. So they'll take them and they'll impregnate the tubes with the smell of of like human remains or burned remains. That's why in the chat when you said, well, I can't imagine what that smells like. And I'm like, well, burned remains smells kind of sweet. And you were like, that's gross. So you're just like,
right. No, I understand a little better now. I never thought about how they learn that. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. But
now
yikes.
we train on the real stuff, and some days are better than others.
What about
like
skeletal remains that have been out there, like bones that have been bleached by the sun and weather and all that?
It doesn't matter. What they're smelling is the bone marrow, and bone marrow can last for years, decades.
Wow.
You know, think about when they find somebody's skull and they dig out the tooth, and that has the bone marrow in it. My lead dog just found a tooth. We work with a lot of indigenous tribes, and just found a tooth of a woman up near the Washington-Canada border of a woman. I know it's a woman because we've come back, but he found her tooth, and that's all he found. And so they did the DNA on her. They did the DNA because it's a tribal. They have that. Wow. I did it, and so she is one of the missing. So it makes me almost cry when I start talking about it.
Wow.
But so we definitely know for sure that she, you know. And then they started doing a dig, and they started digging and do all sorts of stuff. But I don't get involved in that area. As a joke, so I can keep my sick sense of humor, we always call my dog Remington the talent. You know, he comes out of his trailer, he goes and smells stuff, and then he goes back.
What's his name?
Mom says he found something. His name is Remington.
Aw, Remington. And
Remington,
what kind of dog is Remington?
He is a Roman Rottweiler.
A Roman
so he's big.
Rottweiler.
Yes, he's big. He's 130 pounds. He weighs as much as I do.
130
he's
pounds?
He's a big boy.
Oh, my God. He probably walks you. Oh, that's
no,
so
we don't
nice.
do that. He has to behave because he has to get on planes. He has to.
He's a worker.
A lot of things.
Yeah, he's a worker dog.
He's a worker. He's a doer. But there's just no way that they bring in other dogs at this point.
You don't think so?
Not unless the sheriff will let you do it. We have to be invited in. Like I said, you know, I started my own charity. My husband and I started our own charity. And so we have to be invited in and either called by the sheriff or whatever law enforcement, or the families can call us. But once the families call us, they have to actually, well, depending on what state it is, they have to get approval from law enforcement and say, hey, we've hired these people, or we have a missing daughter or whatever. You know, like I said, I only work cases that unless law enforcement asks me to come in, because I can charge them. And I feel it's something that I charge them for, if you know, because they're law enforcement. They have the funds. They have that. If it's somebody who has a daughter missing, they don't have the means, it's 100% charity. I never charge anybody like that.
Right.
But if somebody would call me, you know, that's very wealthy, you know, I'm going to say, you know, yes, I'll come do it. But here's what I'm going to charge for one dog or two dog and how many days we're going to be there.
Right.
And then when they decide, okay, we're going to pay you that, and they write the check, that goes back into my charity. It does not go to me personally.
Makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and I don't take donations. It's just something my husband and I have started by ourselves.
Oh, well, thank
you
for,
that's where my
for what you guys are doing.
are.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, well, my best friend was murdered 30 years ago.
Oh my God, I'm
and
so sorry.
They found her with a cadaver dog 3 weeks later, and it was her boyfriend who did it. And if it wasn't for the cadaver dog, you know, they would probably have not found her. And so I was in college at the time, and I called my dad, and I'm like, I was hysterical. And I was like, I want to be a cadaver dog handler. And he goes, girl, you were in college with a whole lot of debt. He's like, you finish your college, you retire, and then you can go do whatever you want to, and you just, you know, do whatever. So
it's always been special to you. That's awesome, Kaylin. Thank you for sharing
it's
that.
always had a special place.
Yeah.
And
someone else had a question.
For me, it's always been important.
How many feet down can a cadaver dog smell?
My dog has only smelled something 4 feet down.
4 feet.
There is 4 feet. There's documented history of an 8-foot one. That was many, many, many years ago. The 4 feet, let's just say, like when my dog, so my dog is out, and he alerts. And his alert is he lays down flat on the ground, like how a dog sits froggy, how he lays down completely flat and he does not move. He will not move until he hears his command to move. And so at that point, I call in to law enforcement because I know my dog is right. But I can't see anything. Like, I can't see disturbed ground. I can't see anything, And so law enforcement will come and be like, well, we don't see anything. And I said, well, somebody needs to start digging 6 feet around because there's something here. And usually I ask them to bring a metal rod. And I say, take that metal rod and go down as far as you can go, usually 2 feet or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, then take the metal rod out. And so that brings any smell from the earth right up through that hole. So that's what
those Mexican women are doing.
They were probably doing that. They weren't going deep enough. But when I saw it, I think because what they're doing is they're looking for mass graves because of Mexico and all the violence and all the, they have a,
right.
It's so sad
where
what happens down there.
Spread out because there's so many bodies that have been buried.
And they don't bury them that deep. They don't have time. It's like the mafia. The mafia didn't bury them that deep, And so at that point is usually when the smell comes up. Like the Madeline Soto case. Mm-hmm. If you saw the very first, they had 2 dogs out smelling at his car and her mom's car.
I saw that, yeah.
And if you look back on that video, and she's smelling and she's smelling. It was a female dog, and it was a Malinois. And so she's smelling, and then she goes to Jennifer's trunk, and she's messing with Jennifer's trunk, and she alerts on Jennifer's trunk. Well, she was in there at some point because a dog can smell decomposition within an hour of the death of a human.
I always thought that was interesting, too, that the dog hit on Jen's car, because I was like, what the heck? Why didn't it hit on the front seat where Maddie was supposedly buckled in? Like, I was confused on that.
I was out of town when that happened. So I was watching the video because it's good training for me to see how these, and boy, I was screaming at the top of my lungs to the point of where I was in a hotel, and the hotel actually sent somebody up to check on me because I was like, she was in her car. She did it. Like, I don't know that she didn't do it. I don't know what happened. I try not to think about that case very often, but I'm like, her body was in that car within, like I said, you start decaying as a human. I'm probably grossing everybody out in this chat right now.
No, I mean, we follow true crime, so I mean,
yeah,
this is part of it.
I know. And so, but we start having a smell within an hour of dying, we do, and we just continue to rot. And, at any given time, depending on the skill of the dog, they can find them. Now, I will tell you, it's different to have, human remains, and then you go and you have to have burned remains. Burned remains is a different skill set. Like, you have to train your dog on burned remains. So my dog Remington is trained on 4 different types of remains, human version. Well, I can't, no, that's a lie. He's trained on 3, and we just introduced the 4th about 2 months ago, the burned remains. And so, but all these dogs, every training record, everything I do has to be documented. Absolutely, where his hides were, we call them hides because we're hiding them for him, where they were, how long it took him to find them, all this stuff has to be documented because my training records can be called into court. And it's very essential that every one of these, because they're like, well, why did the dog do this? Or why did, So, but those aren't the only cases we work. We do like when hurricanes go through, flooding cases, because there's always missing people and they're trying to find them. So just very random stuff.
I have one more question before I let you go.
Of course.
Paul Cremo wants to know, how long can the scent last outside, and does the scent last for days, like for a tracking? Oh, yeah. For tracking a live person? Yeah, Nancy, I don't know. He didn't really say.
Yeah, if it's a live person and she got in a car, those dogs are going to end that right where she got in the car. because they're not going to pick up any tracking going beyond that.
I wonder if her scent ended
if they took her
in that turnaround.
Yeah, but if
the U turnaround.
Or the other thing is people keep on saying about the trash can, and it's like, did they wheel her from the house to the trash can to somewhere else?
Right.
Did they let the dogs, track her to there? Were the cans even there? Did they use somebody? I mean, like where I live, we have all of our cans lined up, so you can't tell whose can is who.
Mm-hmm.
So they let them smell all of the cans, or did somebody already take their cans back to their house and those big long driveways and these big properties, but they're going to, tracking only dogs are going to stop exactly where the person usually got in a car, something like that. If she was out in the desert, like they stuck her somewhere and she was still alive, they would have tracked her all the way to where she was, to where the scent was, if she was still alive. Because you got to think, like a long time ago when prisoners would escape, they always had coon hounds, bloodhounds that would track them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were tracking a live scent at that point, and that was a long time ago. I think maybe there's still some prisons.
And I'm wondering, I wonder if that shirt was right there. I've often wondered if a car pulled into that U-turn,
Mm-hmm.
like that U driveway that she has, and she got in the car there. But we don't know. You know what I mean? We don't know the results.
My personal opinion, I mean, I'm watching JLR for like 11 hours a day or something like that. It's insane. Like I have to catch up on all the other stuff at night.
I know. It's been a full-time job following this case, right?
It really has. And like, oh my God, this is day 22. Oh goodness. And I'm trying to train my dogs and do all that at the same time. So it's, I always have an earbud. But I really think it has to go back to Annie and Tomas. I just, think what you want to think. I just have a real problem with the fact that she has not come out and said anything by herself. Savannah has, her brother has,
Yep.
But Annie has not said anything. And that just it puts a pit in my stomach. I mean, I don't care. Like everybody, if something happened to me, everybody, I have four brothers, and they would all be out on everything. My husband would be out on everything, like, screaming to the top of their lungs. So I mean, I'm judging her for that because I think that everybody I've talked to would have done that. So I just need more evidence. I do watch the interview room. I agree with them. Like, why doesn't she have her car back? Like, they're going to give you your car back. They don't want it to sit there. It's just there's too
Unless
many.
They're processing it.
I know. They're taking it apart like they did with Koberger's car. They're taking it apart, And, so, but that's what I wanted to call in and tell you. So
I appreciate it so much.
Questions, they can reach out. But I wanted people to actually get the true information from a handler and not just all these bits and pieces that people kind of get everywhere, because these are valuable dogs.
I have a lot of people in the chat saying they want you to come back and do a show with me.
You know what? I would be more than welcome to. I usually kind of say that I usually don't. I can go on camera briefly with you and come off, but I usually try to stay a little bit more low key with my face because I've had 2 incidents of stalking.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to show your face. You can call in like this.
It was with 2 people that we had done tracking on a missing loved one, and one guy was following me back to the hotel. And then because I didn't, but I was there they served a warrant on his property, and I was there to find, whoever he had, killed. And so they got my license plate number. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. So now I'm like super careful. I'm like, really, when I go out, I'm like, okay, you need to come and pick me up at my hotel. You need to I don't want to know more about
do you guys have like a website and stuff?
No.
Oh, so you don't advertise like that?
No, we don't advertise like that. Law enforcement has a database of all of us. There's not that many of us, especially in the private world. A database, and they can reach out to us anytime. And so we keep it with that. And then I work with the tribes a lot. And then sometimes one of my brothers, they're all in law enforcement. I'm the only one that's in veterinary medicine. And they all will give my name out on occasion. And then FEMA has my name too.
Nice.
So, but no, we keep it super low key because we've funded this ourselves. We don't need people, to give their money. We funded it ourselves. We're perfectly fine with doing that. And then it also gives us the power to do the cases that we feel are important.
That you choose.
Because that I choose and that I know that can have a good result. Like, I can't go and, spend resources on things that you don't know where they are. You just have a hint.
Unless
because
it's doable, right? Like,
unless it's doable, you got to put me in a right grid pattern.
Yeah.
We've got to be able to at least, get it all, honed in. And up in about 6 months ago, my husband got a drone that can actually follow me.
Oh, nice.
So while we're out, we can do a drone that follows me, and that gives them even better coordinates. And they can actually see what I'm doing from law enforcement can see what I'm doing from a drone, and it does record. So it's another form of evidence that you can take to court.
Nice.
And so, no, I love to answer people's questions. I love for them to get the true answers for somebody who does this, and I'm so passionate about it. But like I am, like right now, we live outside of the Seattle area, but we right now I'm in Idaho, and it's 23 degrees.
I have no
idea
idea why, but I just pictured you living in Utah.
I don't know. I know.
Like everybody from Hidden True Crime that found me from Hidden True Crime is from Utah. It's just
Utah. We do have a home in Boise, so we do have that too. But right now I'm in the middle of Idaho and it's 23 degrees.
Ooh.
So we're working out here. But yeah, I know I hear you from Florida with your temperatures. I'm like, Jay, quit talking about how warm it is.
I've got a hoodie on.
And a tank top.
But I have a hoodie on.
You're like, let's go.
It was 66 today. I'm like, it's chilly.
Oh my God. It was 14 when I woke up this morning. It was 14 degrees. I'm like, oh my God. Like, get me out of here. It was just a little too cold.
No, you can keep it.
Yeah.
You can keep it, Galen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. So we got one more day of work, Remington and I, and then we'll probably just go back to Boise and chill for a little while.
Go back to Boise.
Before I drive back.
Boise.
Yeah. Boise. Yes.
Ski Boise.
I know. Every time. Oh my gosh! I'll go. I have to tell you about my story for her when I worked the monkey case. She was awful. She was trying to stalk the dog team to get questions. Lauren.
Oh, she was? Oh, you've got
yeah,
stories.
Monkey Vaughn. Yeah. Oh yeah, because we did the Monkey Vaughn. Me and 3 other dogs.
Were you at Stacy Wondra's?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I heard his arraignment is coming up in the beginning of March. He's officially been charged. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get into the. It's one of the reasons why I'm going back to Boise. Hoping to be able to sneak into that and see what they have to say. Hopefully they'll let it go to television, be on camera.
Hopefully.
Long term. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she was bugging the crap out of a couple of the girls that were there, and very rude and very pushy. And the other girls were a little bit more intimidating. I don't get that intimidated.
Did you have anything to do with the Daybell case or no?
No. I was out of town. There was something I was doing, but I listened to the Daybell case, and because it was June, and so I was doing something, but I did get not questioned, but they asked me, could you do it? And I was like, well, I guess I could, I think I'd be a backup. And so, and I've also been on both of I followed that case really closely. Like it was heartbreaking for me.
Case?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
And that's the truth. But I've been on Crush's channel watching Crusha since her first, I don't know, 3rd or 4th.
We love Under Crusha.
Show. I love Crusha. Mm-hmm. I sometimes I just want to reach out to her and say, you know what, I was on the call list for those kids, and but when I actually heard what they did to Tylee, because you're hearing it, in court, and I had to sit down and cry. I was hysterically crying when I heard what they did to her.
Horrible.
And so
absolutely unthinkable.
Yeah. But Yeah, but it was really hot that day, and so the dogs can't work more than about 45 minutes at a time. And so, because they get too hot, it gets too much. So that's why they had said, hey, can you be, another set of hands? And I'm like, well, I'm out of town. I mean, like, if you really have to. But I didn't realize it was that case until like 2 days later, and my husband mentioned it to me. He's like, hey, he goes, have you heard about this? And I was like, oh my God. And so then I was attached, then I had to watch absolutely everything. I was just like, oh, I just couldn't stop. I was just like, I had to know.
Yeah, it was wild. I was up to my eyeballs in that case. And it's weird because a lot of people never found me during that case that, knew Kresha and watched Hidden True Crime or whatever. But I just thought it was funny that when I found out that Lauren could not get an interview with Julie Rowe, and I was just like, I was clueless. I was like, I'll talk to her. She's in these podcasts. I don't care. I had no idea what I was even stepping into, Had no idea.
You know what? Your interview with her was perfect. She was so relaxed with you.
Dude, she was so cool on the phone. Like
she would just kept flowing information, because you take that interview that you had with her and you compare it to what Nate Eaton did with her.
I think she
was crazy.
Yeah.
That interview.
She was funny because when I talked to her on the phone beforehand and we were planning the date, she was like, let's do it. She was like wanting to be a smart ass. And she was like, let's do it on Good Friday. And I was like, oh, perfect. Let's do it on Good Friday. Good Friday with Julie Rowe, And now, like, I had no idea then. It was like I was in the midst of it. I was just revisiting all of their previous podcasts and stuff. I didn't know the depths of what all of this actually was at the time. So looking back, it's kind of crazy for me.
It is, and it's so dark. It's darker than that, and it's deeper than that. The more I kept digging, the more I kept finding out things.
It's very dark.
And
I was presented that Chad published her books, and I thought that was just like their connection. And but go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no. My one of my neighbors here in Boise, they're Mormon, and so I've talked with them extensively about it, and they're just like they're not all these other Mormons that you see from Lauren's perspective and all these other ones, because they're just not like that at all. They're 100% not like that, and so it really caught me off guard, because I was like, well, these are like, I have neighbors like that, and then their friends come over, they don't do that, like, so maybe they just, I'm just like, I don't know. It was really interesting. Oh, and I did get invited to CrimeCon this year, so I will be going to CrimeCon.
Oh, you are? Nice.
Yes.
Is Remington going?
Remington is not going.
Remington is staying home. No CrimeCon.
Remington is staying home. No, he's staying home with his sister, Winnie Winchester.
Winnie.
And so, Winnie Winchester, yeah. Yes, my dogs are named after firearms. I know.
I love it.
But yeah, no, he's gonna chill out at home, and that's a really hot time of year to be in Vegas. And Rottweilers are brachiocephalic; they have the smushier faces, and so I don't really like to have him in that much heat,
Well,
so,
I'm happy to hear you'll be there.
He's not gonna have a good time. He's not gonna have a good time. He'd be like, "Why am I in a hotel room, and why am I people talking to me? Because I don't want people to talk to me."
Right. I just like Winnie, and I like Galen. And Galen.
There you go. Yeah,
and my dad.
Yeah. He kind of likes my husband.
How many years can Remington do this work for?
He is now 3.5, and my last dog did this for 8 years. But then she had a medical issue, so we had to take her off. But he's healthy. He's he hasn't showed any problems of anything else. So as long as he's willing to work and he's healthy, he can just keep going,
Nice.
And he doesn't have to work for hours and hours. I mean, he usually works for 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And then he goes back and he chills out in the car and goes to sleep, and I have a snack. And then about an hour later, we go at it again, depending on how far he got and where we stop and start. So, but I don't run my dogs. I don't run them into the ground. It's not worth it. These are very important assets and tools to a lot of people. And so I have to be respectful of that. And for him, it's a game. He thinks it's one big party.
Yeah.
It's one big party, and he gets this awesome toy at the end.
He gets rewarded.
That he never gets anywhere else. And he's just jumping from joy, and you'd never see it. I mean, and my dogs have tails. My Rottweilers have tails. So his tail's going everywhere, and he's just like happy and got a big smiling face, like, oh my God. But he thinks it's the best thing ever, you know? So, yeah, nice. It's a game to him. It's not work.
Well,
it's a game.
Thank you, Galen, for calling in and answering all the questions, and I'd love to have you back sometime. So be careful driving.
I put 22,000 miles on my car in 8 months. So
oh my gosh! Wow, she's a traveling gal.
I am a traveling gal. Yeah. So I mostly drive with the dogs places. I hate to fly them if I don't have to.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much, Galen, and enjoy the rest of your night. And thank you for your support always.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
And I'll be in the chat.
All right, thanks. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye to you and Remington and Winnie. Oh, she hung up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Galen. It was really nice to actually talk to you. 727-755-6001. We can take another call or two. Galen rocks. Galen and Winnie and Remy and Winnie. I like that. 727-755-6001. Let's see if we can take another call. It is, what time is it? 9:30. Still early. Yes, be careful driving. So you guys are talking about this video, huh? In the weeds? I don't know what the guy's doing. You are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Jay. This is Bloom's Flower Bar.
Well, hello, Bloom's Flower. What's
Hello.
happening? Nice
I am here in Arizona and following everything with Nancy, but that last caller was amazing.
She is.
And yes, I agree with everybody that I would love to see her on with you to chat more. But after all that information she gave, I just wanted to share a quick feel-good story.
Sure.
I won't take long.
Sure.
But in March of 23, we got our puppy. She was small. We wanted her to be like a seizure alert dog for my oldest daughter. And then 8 months later, in November of 23, my daughter, who we got the dog for, went on hospice. So we had a puppy while we had our oldest daughter that was on hospice, and things were incredibly crazy. So we had to keep the dog off of her bed because she was a puppy. And so we made like barriers to keep her off, and we're very strict about her not getting on the bed with my daughter. Well, there was a day where she just kept getting on the bed. And I thought, you know what? I'm in the room with her. As long as she's laying quietly, I will let her do it. And so whenever she heard a noise, the dog would stand up on the bed and look around and then like lay her head back down on my daughter and lick her face and then lay back down. And so I took a picture of that, and that is the last picture I have of my daughter alive, is with my dog, because she sensed something different. And so because my dog alerted us in a way by behaving differently, my daughter was able to pass away in my arms because I could feel that something was different. There was a shift, a change in my dog's attitude. And so I wasn't a huge dog person before, but now my dog is like my best friend. We are trauma bonded. But I just had to share that story, how amazing dogs are. She just sensed, she could smell it. She sensed something was off. She wasn't trained with seizures. She wasn't trained with any of that. And so I know how much you love dogs, and everyone else loves dogs. So I just wanted to share that story, little feel-good, pick-me-up story of how amazing dogs are.
Aww.
So anyways,
thank you
it
for
me.
sharing.
I just wanted to share something to make people feel good.
We don't deserve them.
I know. They're amazing. I love them. Well, but thank you so much for answering my call.
Sharing.
I appreciate.
You're amazing.
Of course. Thanks, Jay.
Much love,
Thank
Bloom.
you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Oh. horrible and sad, like horrible but bittersweet at the same time. Bless you, Bloom. So sorry. 727-755-6001. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, Jay. It's Michelle in Dallas. I'm at Prepper Tuck.
Hello, Michelle
on
in Dallas.
line.
Hi. What's your name online?
A Prepper Tuck.
Oh, okay. What's up, Prepper?
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the minority. I wanted to just kind of share my thoughts because I don't think it was Annie or Tommaso.
Okay.
Just my gut feeling. But I'm not totally sold on that. There are a couple of things that are still kind of like, okay, I'm open to that. But I don't think it was Annie. We haven't heard from anybody coming out, like friends or family, saying, oh, there was any kind of animosity. And, the family, it was only one picture, but from Christmas, they really all looked quite happy together.
Can I bounce off that Christmas picture a minute and ask you something?
Yeah.
So I was looking at that Christmas, I was looking at when Nancy shared that Christmas picture on her Facebook.
Okay.
And she shared it January 27th on her birthday. Do you find that to be odd that wasn't shared like on Christmas? Like Savannah shared it on her Insta, but on January 27th, I just was reminded of that. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just
a bit peculiar.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Who knows?
They look happy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They look happy. Yeah. I mean, and Tommaso is standing right next to Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a smile on his face. I'm just not picking up. You can sometimes see things on people's face when there's tension, even if it's not spoken in a picture. You can read body language. There's just nowhere where I'm seeing anything.
Yeah,
that is just
she's
glaring.
very close.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I just pulled up the picture on the screen. Everybody in chat can see it, and she is. I mean, she's very close. She's next to him. She's facing him. There's no space between them.
Right. And if there is tension, sometimes those people who have that tension won't be next to each other. They won't be smiling, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some other things that kind of make me say, okay, if this was Annie or Tommaso or both, there's some things that don't make sense to me. One is, sorry, now I just lost my train of thought. Okay, I can remember one. It's with Derek Kalila. I forget his name, but the FBI guy who was like, concerned about Kalila having their phone number and like, how did they get it?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bit peculiar. But my thing is like, okay, how did they find out that Derek contacted Annie and Tommaso? Did Annie and Tommaso go to the FBI and say, hey, this guy is contacting us. This is, he's trying to scam us or extort, us. If that was the case, then why would they do that? You know what I mean? If they were working with Derek in any way. So the only way, in my mind, is if they had no connection, then they would go to the FBI and say, hey, look, this guy is contacting us. If there was
Good question.
a connection, I don't think they would do that. The only other thing would be that they are being monitored by the FBI, like all of their phone lines, which is a possibility. So they just automatically knew, in which case, well, then you do have to kind of wonder. It's peculiar. But there was something else that really made me question, like, how could it be? Well, when he's not in the video, I don't think that's him. And that would mean to me that they'd have to hire a hitman. And I just think out of everything that they've done, they had like the ICAC team there, which I think they had that Cellbrite device that like just looked at all of the digital.
Yes.
And they found nothing. Are you telling me there's nothing that they can pin it on him at this point? I mean, I understand in the beginning why you might be looking at him and looking hard and really have him zoned in. But at this point, 3 weeks later, like, they have nothing to come out and say, yeah, we think it's like definitive. You know what I mean? It just seems like there would be something. And if there was a hitman, there would be some sort of communication. You just can't hide it.
Let me stop you there, though, because I think that it takes longer than 20 days or 22 days or whatever to gather enough evidence for like an arrest. So that's why I'm just like, yeah, I'm on the fence, because there's just so many things that don't make sense, like him being the last one to see her, drop her off, then the change, then, oh, we'll just say it's family. Like, that's just all weird, right? Like, why do that?
Yeah.
Who?
No.
And that's very important to me. The last person to see her is very important to me. And we're not even getting a clear picture of who that even was.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot that's not been released. And I agree. I mean, there's a lot of peculiarities with this case that make no sense. If it was Tommaso and Annie, there's still things like that just don't make sense. But at this point, I don't think it was them. And now I'd also like to just share this. I kind of wanted to touch on Annie, because everybody all over, like every channel I've watched is kind of, and all the experts too, to some degree, are calling her out for not coming out, and Tommaso too. So I just wanted to say this, because I kind of feel for them. If it's not them, or like, let's say it's, okay, maybe it is Tommaso, but I really don't think it's Annie. I don't think she knew, because I think what, I don't know, a caller or two ago was saying that maybe she didn't know, but now if it is him, maybe there is something that we don't know about, but they do, so they are suspecting him, and Andy does too. But it makes me think that, you know, if it was me and I was Annie, my mother's missing, and now they're suspecting my husband. I'm grieving for the loss of my mother. I don't know where she is. The man that I've been married to for 20 years, that up to this point, I thought was this amazing husband and father. Her world is falling apart completely. Plus, if that's the case, then how much she'd be feeling just so much guilt, and that she's bearing the brunt of it, because it's her siblings that are grieving too, and she's looking at them feeling like, oh my God, maybe I caused this. Even though it may not have been her, but it was her husband. You know what I mean? So I can kind of see how
I can kind of get down with
like,
that. I can get down with a second life for sure. For sure. And
like
someone being naive, someone being maybe of lowest self-esteem. I mean, I picture this couple, and I don't mean to go on a rant, but I picture him in a band, and I looked at the clubs he used to play at in Tucson. And I wonder, did Annie frequent these clubs with him? Was she always there when the band was playing? When he was opening up for, you know, Jimmy Eat World? I mean, these are bands that were big in the 90s. He opened up for Psychedelic Furs. That was a big band in the 80s.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research into where he played, and, you know, he opened up for some, like, the only person that stood up for him publicly was the drummer of Jimmy Eat World, and he said it's ludicrous to think that they do anything, basically, and that Annie and Tommaso cared for Nancy on a daily basis. So I found that to be just interesting that, you know, he's saying they're the daily caregivers. You know, and that's pretty much the only person that knows Tommaso that spoke out, besides that woman that went up to JLR and said he's a great guy.
Right.
That was it.
Right. Now, I will say this too. Now, a couple of things that, you know, everybody is kind of saying, well, why aren't they doing this or that? But if Nancy, I mean, I'm in my mid-50s, and I've got hip issues myself. And so, I mean, I'm not quite to the point where Nancy was, but I've got some mobility issues, so I know what it's like. But there's a couple of things that, you know, everybody's dogging on them, but Nancy was of sound mind. I work with Medicare patients, so everybody I talk to is over 65. I have patients or clients I talk to who are well in their 80s, and they live alone. They do everything themselves. They make all their decisions if they're of sound mind.
My mom did too, and she still got swindled. So it happened.
Right.
You know, it does happen. It does happen.
I know, but my point is that, but Annie and Tommaso may not have been able to do much in terms of getting her to move, getting her to wear some sort of device, getting her to get security. They, like the lawyer lady you had on said, if they had no legal route to do that, if she's of sound mind. And if she was like, hey, I'm good. I don't need you guys to be over here. I don't need you guys.
Right, but they could have paid for the subscription for the doorbell, right? For the cameras.
I mean, they could have, but so, I mean, if Nancy was taking care of all of her other stuff and that was getting paid, then, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know if anybody took over helping her with that stuff or if that was 100% her. Did she sit down with her daughter? You know, because my sister used to sit down with my parents, you know, periodically and just go through, make sure everything looked good because, you know, they'd get phone calls all the time of people wanting, you know, scams and all that stuff.
Yes.
So we were pretty on top of, you know, looking for that.
But at some point, if she says, no, this is how I want to do it, I'm good, everything's fine. Annie and Tommaso, there's not anything they can do. You know, as adult children, as much as you want your parents to do all these things because you want them to be safe, if she says, no, this is how I want it, there's not anything that they can do.
But why wouldn't they come out and say that, though? Why wouldn't they come out and say, you know, I knew something horrible was going to happen. Like, we were trying to get her, like, she's just so independent. She didn't want to do that. Like, why keep that a secret at this point?
Okay, I agree, but I go back to the part where it just may be Annie's state of mind and everything she's dealing with. Annie may not be Savannah's obviously very comfortable in front of the camera, a people person. Annie may be much more an introvert.
Well, why wouldn't Savannah relay that? Like, that was the case, you know?
Yes, but she hasn't said anything in any way other than just kind of what the FBI had them say, or just, you know, hey, reaching out to whoever the perpetrator is. But the last
one she did sounded like she was talking to someone she knew. That sounded pretty personal. So I was like, who would that be? Like, who would she be directing that to? I mean, it could be a long distance relative, like a distant cousin. Right. It could be Tommaso. It could be a friend. It could be someone who was a caregiver. Like, we don't even know if she had a caregiver coming in periodically.
Right. But I will say, I think it was Jen Coffin, whatever her name is. Yeah. I don't remember her last name.
Coffindaffer.
Yeah, but she questioned whether that, even though it sounded like it was unscripted, if they maybe said, hey, we want you to say this, and she questioned whether or not that's how Savannah really talked, and that was part of her like natural language and was written in her book, and took excerpts or language that was seen in her book. I don't know. It was never verified, but I heard her saying this may be where that came from. I don't know. That was just one thing I thought was interesting, that
they could also release a public statement through a lawyer or something too, Annie and Tommaso.
I think the whole family should be doing that. Like, why aren't they? But for all we know, the FBI may be telling him not to do any of that.
True.
You know?
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, we don't know. I think it was Maureen O'Connell said, like, how much do you think, somebody asked like one of these, you know, retired FBI, like, how much do you think we know versus what they know? And they said, we know probably 5 to 10% of what they know, you know?
Right.
So
I just think it's peculiar that at this point that they don't have anybody else that they're going after, because they went after the Carlos guy, the Zach, and the whatever, the other brother and the mother. I mean, they had SWAT at their house.
Yeah, and you know what else?
Just like, in a few short days.
We got the sketch from like this lady in Texas that decided to make a sketch from The Mask. But like, I was listening, I don't remember what show it was on, but I heard that the FBI has technology where they can like strip the mask away and they can tell by like the shape of the skull, and they can try to like remake what the face would look like. And I just wonder like if that will come out. But also I can't remember what I was going to say, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. Why aren't they telling us like a vehicle to look for? Why aren't they giving us like a general description besides just these videos with no context?
Yeah, and nothing makes sense. So my theory, because I'm kind of ruling out Annie and Tommaso. I'm not 100% on Tommaso. I still think there's, some, chance that it is him or he's involved, but very low. But what I do think it is, personally, I think it's somebody who targeted her who is more along the lines of like a serial killer. I think this guy may have been working alone. I know they've said that it looks like there was more than one, but
okay.
I'm still questioning
Question:
that.
If there's one person, how do
Yep.
you think that they got Nancy out of the house?
I think she walked.
You think she got into a vehicle?
Yep.
See, I think she was lured away in the Uber. That's my theory. Until I see an Uber driver coming forward saying, "Hey, I was the Uber driver. I had nothing to do with it." I don't believe. I think she was lured out of the home.
But I think the police would have. I think they said they verified and talked to the Uber driver.
They said they talked to him, but they didn't say what they said. I mean,
right.
Talking to him can be a lot of things, right?
Yes. But so how did what?
What if Kayla was the Uber driver?
Okay. Wow. Well, I hadn't thought of that. All good points, could be. But then I'm still like, how did her pacemaker register for all that time?
Because her phone was with her. So her phone would have had to have been with her. So when the pacemaker disconnected, that's because she separated from her phone. So she was with her phone up until to whatever. What is it on the thing? 228. She was with her phone.
But then how did the blood get there if she never made it back?
I don't know. Maybe it was from a previous incident where she had a skin tear. Maybe she tripped on that step going out the front door. And I don't know. I think it's weird that the flowers are on top of the blood.
Exactly.
It's almost like the blood was already there, may not even be related.
Right. But they said it was in the house. I don't know. So... But what the other thing that's really peculiar about all of this is whether it was Tommaso and he had hired somebody, or it was just somebody who, it's related through Savannah in some way, some sort of revenge, I think is what they're saying the other option is. Regardless of who it is, why did they smash the light? Because it looks like that light was on in front of the house when he went up to dismantle the door.
Yes.
But so why did he smash it or dismantle it after? That makes no sense to me. I mean, I can understand if it happened beforehand because they wanted it to be dark, but that's not what happened.
Or the thing could also be that, I mean, that whole thing of smashing the cameras to make it look like a robbery gone bad.
Okay, well, maybe it was staged. That's
but
possible.
Also, could the blood have been staged? And if so, how? I know people have said that, like the blood, or not staged, but what if whatever happened to her happened before the doorbell was actually removed? We know she got home at 9:48. She was dropped off, and the garage door opened, and then it closed at 9:50. So what if something happened between 9:50 and 1:47 when the doorbell disconnected? Maybe something happened inside because the blood was already there, and then they came back with the flowers and shit to get rid of the camera. I don't know.
And then smashed it. Right. It's possible, but what throws me is the spike on her, whatever it's called, pacemaker that registered. So if something was happening before that, I would think that there would be some sort of notable activity registered on the pacemaker.
Well, they did say it's not on the timeline, but the sheriff, I mean, take it for what it will, that there was a spike in her heart rate at 2 a.m. So that was 1:47, the doorbell camera disconnects. 2:12, software detects a person on camera. And then 2:28, the pacemaker disconnects, and we have that spike mentioned around 2. So
Yeah.
that's what
So
made me think maybe she was sleeping and was startled awake. Because if she had those hearing aids, you know, if she didn't have them in,
you wouldn't know.
She wouldn't even know. Oh my God, that's so terrifying to think of.
I know. So I will tell you that this whole case, because I don't really follow true crime, but his grip, grabbed me, and I've been dialed in. But I am very lax here. I live by myself, and my front door, I don't have a proper lock. I just have like a latch because the foundation doesn't work, so I can't turn my key to lock it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't line up. Oh my gosh! And my sliding glass door, I don't have the pole broke, and so it's not locked in anyway.
Okay, we need to get you an Amazon wish list with Ring doorbells and cameras, and put it all on there, and send me the goddamn Amazon wish list.
I know. I'm after seeing this, I'm like, oh my God, because I feel safe in my neighborhood. I've been here 20 years.
It's safe till it's not. It's safe till it's not.
So I understand how Nancy could have felt this way and not been worried about the security, because that's how I am. So I can see a lot of that myself, and so yeah. So I mean, those are pretty much all of my points that I wanted to make.
Well, thank you, and I hope that you decide to get at least one camera. The blinks are great. I used to have the blinks in my windows, and they're small, they're great, and they're not expensive. But it's something that you can get. Just you need to have something, girl. It's safe till it's not.
Yeah, I'm working on it. So, all right, Jay, it was great talking to you.
It was great talking
and I love
to you
too. And I'm so glad I found you.
Same here. Thank you so much. Have a good night. All right, enjoy the rest of your night. I kept thinking, is today Saturday or Sunday?
I love these call-in shows. Thanks for taking the time to take calls and listen to your audience. These conversations spark so many thoughts. Thanks for all you do. You are appreciated and loved by many.
Bloom, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Bloom sent a cooter chat. Thank you so much, Bloom. That was really sweet of you. And thank you for sharing your story with us. All right, I think we can take another call. 727-755-6001. Ooh, we got a caller. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to? Oh, they hung up on me. Call back. 72. Oh, there we go. You are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Susanna.
Hello,
from Georgia.
Can you mute your YouTube for me or pause it?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Okay, so what's your name, hon?
I'm sorry. It's Susanna from Georgia.
Susanna from Georgia. What's happening
I've called
tonight?
A couple times. Hi. So I was really curious about a couple things today. Mostly, I think there was a transmitter that was found today, which I thought was very odd.
I heard about that, but I didn't see it. Can you give me the deets on what happened?
Well, I saw it was on JLR, and obviously everybody's watching. No offense to JLR. I am going to say that I am very happy for him, that he's changed his ways over the years. I very much respect him. But yeah, no, he was talking to some girls that I guess found a transmitter supposed to be with media, or I guess they think that it would come from media, like came out of a bag. It just was a little weird to me.
That is strange. Huh.
Yeah. And I guess I still have a feeling about, I somehow think it's still connected to Savannah. I don't know. It's just too weird.
Do? You think like a stalker?
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, it's just like that was everybody's initial thoughts, and I think I'm just going right back to that.
And they did say that they were in contact with Savannah's security team. I think the sheriff said we've been in contact with her security team, and we've been talking to them. So maybe they contacted her security team to say, hey, or maybe, vice versa, to say, hey, she's got this, couple people that have been on our radar, and maybe they look, they're looking into that. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I just don't see any other reason to take a woman out of her house,
right,
and not like try to burglarize or take anything.
Right.
There's a certain motive to it, and it's not stealing anything out of her house.
Right.
They didn't take anything.
What do you think that motive would be? What are your thoughts?
Her.
Money?
Well, I'm thinking they were trying to get at her for some reason.
Oh, you mean like to punish Savannah?
Maybe.
Via her mom.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder, we don't know exactly what the ransom letter said either.
Right. Well, there was a few of them. I don't know what I believe or not with any of them.
Yeah, I know.
The ransom came after people were asking about a ransom.
Correct. Yeah, after the FBI
so I don't think any of those are valid.
Right. And then there was, they're saying that the Derek Kalila ransom collection directly to Annie and Tommaso was not related to the one contacting the media. So Derek was separate from the TMZ person.
I think that was probably a stupid person that was able to find their information online, probably.
You think he was just being nosy, seeing if they would
send
him some money? I mean, God, what was the guy going to do if they did send him money? That's crazy to put yourself in the middle of a case like that.
Fraud already. Yeah, I mean, I think with his history, he already had
for sure
stuff like that.
For sure.
So, but yeah, I still think it's connected to Savannah because I don't see any other reason.
I think Savannah, either way, it's like Sarah Lee in chat just said, whether it was because of her or not, I bet she regrets showing her mom so much now and, being so open. Because, I mean, even if it was within their circle, I know we're being told it wasn't, but even if it was, it still has raised a lot of awareness of, maybe how Nancy really wasn't.
I'm sure Ashley Banfield's rethinking this. I mean, everybody is probably thinking about, not ever wanting to be as public as they are.
Putting these kids on there. I mean, I watched an episode of the Today Show where Savannah's daughter, who's like 11, came on and interviewed her mother. It was very intimate. It was, they showed video in their house of the kids reading books.
You want to show that, but I mean, really, you can't, I guess, these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like social media. We're very careful. I mean, most of us, but there's some YouTubers that exploit their kids on here, but it's not very well taken anymore. If you think about it. So. So it's thought provoking for sure.
For showing all this.
Thank you, girl.
I do hope we get back to hidden true crime sometime.
Yeah, I know you guys. We'll roast again.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. I'm good without BJ, but hidden true crime was kind of, nice to be able to call someone out who's really
doing something wrong. Yeah. So. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'll talk to you later.
No, appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hi, this is Sharon. Sam's Pride 75 is my
Hi, Sharon.
Name on YouTube. Hi, I just wanted to give you kind of my idea about what I think. So I think Nancy was definitely kidnapped for ransom. I don't think that all of the ransom notices were fictitious or somebody trying to scam. I think one of them at least was real.
Oh, do you think the Kalila one?
I'm not sure, but possibly. That's the only one that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when you were talking about all that stuff, I think that's the only one that actually makes sense.
The fact that he contacted just Annie and Tommaso, right?
Exactly. And I think Tommaso was the one that set it up. That's what I think. I think he set it up. I don't think Annie knew, per se. I think she might have been left in the dark. But I think
I'm with you, girl.
The reason why
I'm with you.
She hasn't talked. Yeah, I don't think the reason why she's talked out or said much is because I think she's going, oh crap.
Yes. Yes, I do too. And you know what? I think it's possible that when he dropped her off, he could have left the door open for somebody.
Exactly. Because the one picture you were looking at, I think it was yesterday, of the guy on the ring cam.
Yes.
There was the headlights and behind him. That when you were like showing it darker and lighter and stuff like that, those were actual headlights.
That's what some people see are headlights back there.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say it's a house up on the hill. Some people say it looks like a truck.
It's an SUV because they have the oval or the round headlights, dual headlights. So like the bright and the regular headlights. Mm-hmm. I could see when you did it one way, you could see it really, really well. I think it's like a Ford or a Kia.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I think. But that's
so. What do you think the motive is? What do you think the motive for him setting something up like that would be, if he did that?
I think
allegedly,
because they bought that house down the road, 2 miles away or 10 miles away or whatever. I think because they bought that house, I don't think they could actually afford it. And I think they were trying to figure out a way to be able to afford it, and this would be a way.
I have a theory about their house too. I mean, I think it's weird that Nancy's house was for sale for a few months in 2024, towards the end of the year, taken off the market, and then a mere few months later, Annie and Tommaso double their home value and buy a home near Nancy. And then if you think about the guy from that band, that Zap guy from Jimmy Eats World or whatever, he said they are their daily they're their daily caregivers.
Exactly. And nobody has said that. He's the only one that said that.
Only one
so far.
Only one.
And
where's
so
his
weird.
friends? Like, where's his friends? Why wouldn't they come out and be like, oh my God, he would never do this?
Exactly. And why isn't he, like you've said before, why isn't he saying, bring her home? Where is she? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it doesn't make sense. Even if he's ashamed that people are saying, oh, he's the one that did it, and people are pointing fingers. That would make me, if it was me being accused.
Okay, I have an example. I have an example of that. So in the Heidi Broussard case, I don't know if you're familiar with that. She went missing during the day. Her boyfriend was the last one to see her before he left for work. She was literally kidnapped by her best friend, one of her best friends, during the day. And they got it on camera. They figured out who she was. But everybody was looking at him. He was the last one to see her. He was the last one to talk to her. But if he would have been quiet, that would have been even more weird. You know what I mean? But he didn't do it. But he was out there. He was in front of the cameras. He was wanting her back. You know, he was talking about, I saw her this morning and da-da-da-da-da. Like, he wanted to get that awareness out there. And he was not guilty.
And that's what people who aren't involved they act like. They're like, look, we want her back. We don't care why or how. Just bring her home. You know?
Silence is...
If it was my mom, there would be nothing that would stop me, or even my mother-in-law. That would be nothing that would stop me from being in front of any camera, anybody who would listen.
Especially if you had just seen her and you're like, what the F? You know what I mean?
Exactly. I would be devastated. Like I said, there'd be nothing and no one that could stop me from getting out there in the public and saying somebody had to have seen something.
I agree. I just can't excuse it as easily as some people can. I just can't.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like, things that don't make sense, usually there's a reason.
I agree with you there. I agree with you. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for you doing what you do. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you. You have a good night.
Yeah. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for your call, caller. I appreciate that. Sharon, I think her name was. Thank you. The call line is open. We're going to take another call. Here we go. Oh, you guys are just blowing it up. We'll take 2 more. All right, here we go. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Jay, this is Julia. So
Hi.
I just kind of like stumbled across this, but I know you were watching JLR when he was like checking out the neighbor that was packing up his stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
He had Colorado plates. Well, I just heard that somebody from Colorado like was Googling Nancy's home or whatever right before it happened.
I heard that too.
And the guy's name is Peter Ruckman. So I'm not really into conspiracy theories, but
wait. I'm going to stop you there.
Googled-
Wait. Hold on. Don't give anything personal about this guy because we don't know.
Okay, well, it's in the Epstein files.
Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, can you just email me that?
I know.
Can you email me
but
that?
he had Colorado plates.
Can you email me that? Because I don't want to put people's names and that kind of stuff out there. That's a lot.
I sure can. So we can. I won't say any more about that. But also, I had like, see, I talked to Spirit, and I know you're not really like a believer in that too much, but I had picked up on like jewels, like she had some kind of like jewels or gems, and then it just so happens that there was just a big gem show that happened there.
Yes, there was.
So I'm thinking that has something to do with it, plus the whole distraction thing. But
yeah, can you?
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, email me whatever you want. I just have to be careful,
Okay.
with names and.
Yeah, I know.
I appreciate you.
Everybody's understood.
Yeah.
Right. I just saw that and was just like, it blew my mind. And
I did hear
that name's in the Bible.
Weird. Well, email me what you got.
Bad things with kids. Okay.
Okay. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye-bye.
You too, dear.
720. Oh, we got another call. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is Steve.
Hi, Steve. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
What's on your mind?
I've been tuning into your podcast, and
sounds like your mic might be covered up a little bit, Steve.
Oh, how's that?
That's a little bit better. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've been watching your podcast. I've got a couple theories here.
Okay.
I think my first theory is the son-in-law hired somebody, and that's why he's able to not be on the radar. He didn't use his phone. He's probably in person, but it's just too coordinated. And for an 84-year-old woman to be targeted randomly, it just doesn't fit. So I think he and his wife Annie hired somebody probably months ago, and so they really got no hand ties to this guy, except down the road he'll get paid off. So that's just my first theory.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is there's, I don't know if anybody has looked, but there's about 13 registered sex offenders right there in her neighborhood. You can pull it up online and put her address in, her zip code, and it pulls up all the registered sex offenders right there in her area. So my theory is that given that Nanos has said he's got biomatter, which could mean anything from a plant to body fluid, with the fact that he says he's got mixed DNA, that tells me that there probably was a sexual assault. And if this guy's a registered sex offender, he's got to take that body with him. No two ways around it. So I'm convinced that it was either a sexual assault or the son-in-law hired someone to take her out, because Annie's probably the beneficiary of the trust. Now they're going to be in a tricky situation if they never find his body because of the missing person. So
right.
That's going to tie up the property for a long time. So I don't think they anticipated, that. So that's why I'm more leaning towards these registered sex offenders in her area. I mean, if you Google it and put her address in, you're gonna pull up about 7 of them. One guy, Rodriguez or Martinez, because I pulled him up. He's got a kidnapping charge. This guy lives 2.5 miles from her, not even.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's just hard to take an older woman like that, you know?
Oh, it is. It totally is. The only way he was a pretty strong guy by looking at him. So my theory is he put her over his shoulder, and her head is leaning over the back of him. And he's got her over his shoulder, and that's why you see the blood droplets coming down. He's not walking her out the door and getting that type of blood coming out the way it's splattered on the front entrance. Plus, there was blood in the house, a trail of it. But they said was the same pattern. So he probably, if he's a one-man band, he threw her over his shoulder and he hightailed it out of there. And I watched JR's podcast, and I'm watching these guys drive around the neighborhood, and they're passing on his manhole covers, and I'm like, the quickest way to get rid of her is just pop a manhole cover and drop her in it, close it, and he's gone. Because that'll just flush her out.
God, man, we covered a case in Texas of a guy that went missing. He was a 20-some-year-old guy. Name is Caleb Harris. He left his house, no shoes on. He was eventually found in the water treatment facility. They said that he fell into a manhole that didn't have a lid on it. And literally it took months, but it was like, it's so gross to say, but he got put through this system and they found parts of him in the grate. And that was how they discovered him. So if that happens, I know what happens once they're in a manhole. It ain't good.
It isn't. And the other thing that really surprises me, Jay, about this case is the family doesn't seem really interested in the public's help. They came out with a few, they came out with a couple of written statements for what they thought was a kidnapper. Now, from my position, in the last 21 days, Savannah thinks this is a kidnapping because she hasn't came out and said anything different than that. She's been pleading with the kidnapper for three times. She's never come out and said, can the public help me? Thanks for the public. I mean, this is a hometown girl. You would think if my wife went missing, I'm not married, but if I had a wife and she went missing and we were from the same hometown, the whole town would be out looking for her.
Yeah.
And Savannah's not asking.
No flyers?
She's not.
There's no flyers being dispersed. I mean.
No, she hasn't even showed up at the house.
Yeah, I don't think she will with all of the media. It's also weird to me, though. Like, you're right. She said, we need your help. But how can the public help when we don't know what we're looking for?
Well, that's true.
We don't even have a car. Even in Coburger, they had the car, the white Elantra, but we don't even have that.
No, and one of the reasons is because they turned off the cameras because ICE was coming to town a couple weeks before she went missing, so the protesters made them turn off the flock cameras.
That's why they wanted them off.
Yeah, because ICE has access to the flock cameras, so they can read license plates.
Oh.
They can sit in an office and read a license plate and go.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why you're not seeing any cameras. Now there's only one picture that could be taken, and that's if this guy slipped up and ran a red light between 2 and 4 whenever he took off. If he was in a hurry and he ran a red light, then they got him. But these detectives, Manos, this department he's got, the average detective's got 5 years experience. He flushed out all the 20-year pros. So he's got a bunch of DEI hires in there that don't have any experience. And the one guy came out and said it. This guy that used to work in the office come out and said, this guy's got an ego, and he fired all the quality, all the experience.
Yeah, he's horrible.
The average detective in that office is got 4 or 5 years experience.
Yeah.
So, but the family, it's the whole thing is weird. Feels like a cover up, because I would never think of calling my congressman if my family went missing. I'd be calling the police, the FBI. What's a congressman going to do for me except try to help cover something up?
Yeah, I don't know. When you got connections though, and your mom's missing, you might use all those connections. I don't know. But thank you, Steve, for for calling in. I've got someone that is incessantly trying to get through. So I'm gonna.
Go ahead, young lady.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your thoughts. I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, 720. This one's for you. I see you calling. 727-755-6001. Call me. Call me back. The line is open for you. I will decline anybody but 720 because 720 has tried every minute for the past 5 minutes. 720. Give me a call back. I didn't see the radio. Come on, 720. I'm giving you a chance here. All right, I'm taking this one. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay.
Hi, Jay. It's White Lotus.
Hello, White Lotus. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good.
So you guys were just talking about, okay, so Derek Kalia with the fake ransom note.
Yep.
Got either Annie or Tommaso's phone number, right?
Yep.
So does that mean Annie and Tommaso had their phones back that fast? Because wasn't it like 3 days later?
Okay, so Derek Kalila sent the text on February the 4th. So she went missing. The first was Sunday, second, third, fourth. That was Wednesday. So on Wednesday, they had their phones, apparently.
Yeah, so that tells me that they got their electronics back pretty fast, right?
I mean, yeah, they could have just plugged them in and did unless they didn't even look at their phones yet.
And then the other thing I wanted to say is today, do you ever use Truth Finder at all?
Mm-hmm. I have.
I think I sent you an email, but
Oh, are you the one that sent where it was gone? The number wasn't there?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the Google Trends, when they first looked up Savannah's income, that person was from Colorado, right?
That's what they said, yeah. There was also someone who got one from Algeria, too. So Google came out and said that those aren't necessarily accurate on each hit. So they did. I don't know if that's true. I don't know, but there was someone that showed a screenshot from Algeria, and the thing with that is that you can use a VPN and then go and you can say set my location for Nigeria, anywhere. Set my location in LA. Yeah, you could be anywhere.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because when I just get on there sometimes and just do some searching, and I have run across because Annie and Tommaso's information is still on there. And so because it brings up relatives, so I just started clicking through their relatives, and somebody down the line was from that Colorado place.
Interesting.
But so I don't know if it has anything to do
I don't
with...
either. I mean, are they saying that Google said it's not accurate because it is accurate? You know what I mean? It's hard to say because they don't want to tip off the perp, right? So if it is
right
true and that is information that's been uncovered by people on the internet, then they may want to, squash that by saying, oh, no, those aren't accurate. So it's like, I take everything with a grain of salt,
Yeah, but I'm with you. It's always the last person. Just like somebody was on your live saying that they were working on a case, or the lady lost her best friend, and it was her boyfriend that killed her. It's always the last person or somebody close to them. So how can
it usually
how
is?
can people not think that probably the son-in-law had to have some involvement in it somewhere? I did see that picture of his music video album. I'm like, what in the heck is
It's dark,
that?
huh?
It's gross.
Annie and Tommaso did poetry together. I was reading Annie's blog last night. I've got so much stuff on, I want to show everybody. Just so much going on at once. But I was reading it, and she said that she her and Tommaso, when they first met, they met because they liked writing poetry together. And I've seen her poetry. It's pretty freaking dark.
She looks pretty dark, though.
Her eyes are not.
Just look at her eyes.
I know.
She is,
I know.
She's dark. She's dark. You can tell she's non-caring. And being a nurse and having to take care of my mom, I was fucking frustrated.
Yeah.
And if they had to, and I didn't have to do it
if
every
you
day.
have the wrong demeanor and you're a caregiver, it can be a disaster. A disaster.
Yep. And they're probably thinking, oh, she's 84. She's not going to live much longer. But, well.
I have a theory. What do you think of this? What if Tommaso, what if the family didn't really like him, from the beginning? I'm just speculating here.
Right.
And what if Tommaso was made to sign a post-nuptial agreement that if he divorces Annie, he's not, able to get any money? What do you think of that plot twist? What if they were on the rocks, but if he divorces, he can't get any money?
Yeah, that's true. I can see that happening.
I mean, that would be like a Lifetime movie, but then again, this feels like a damn movie anyways. So it
does. I just saw something on, I don't know what her name is, Gabby or Abby something on Facebook, but she had 6 documents on there where Tommaso made Annie his power of attorney for some reason. I didn't go into it.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Those.
I saw that too.
Did you? I can't read that legal stuff. I don't know what
I
it
didn't
means.
see the actual documents, and I question if things are even real sometimes, so
I know. You got to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Everything is until proven is just speculation, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
absolutely.
When you first showed those pictures of that masked man, I was so scared, and I was like, "Oh my God!" My stomach just fell to my throat fell into my stomach because
Scary.
I'm like, imagine waking up to that.
No, I couldn't. I
do not think she opened that front door. I don't think they knocked or rang the doorbell or anything. I think she was in bed sleeping. That's just what I think.
Yeah.
Now, when I was watching Ashley right before you came on, she said that her source said the exact same blood on the inside of the house had the exact same tracing on what those little dots, leading out to the sidewalk of the blood were. That's what was inside the house.
Oh, I think they were already inside.
Yeah. And then, it just traveled outside. I don't know, but oh my God, this whole thing freaks me the fuck out because I can't figure it out.
I know, it truly is baffling. But then, when you really think about, taking it back to the simplicity and taking all the conspiracy out of it, I mean, who's really going to target this woman? I mean, for real.
No kidding. Yeah.
You know,
yeah. It's
half the
family.
neighbors didn't even know she was Savannah's mom. I mean,
know.
it's not like she was this hometown celebrity woman that everybody knew she was this Savannah Guthrie's mother and all that. I don't get that feel there. I feel like people have moved in and out of that neighborhood since Savannah left, and a lot of them are unaware.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it's a big advertisement in town, like, oh, this is the Guthrie house, you know? It's not like that, even though they've been there forever.
Yeah. Well, there's just, I mean, if you just listen, I mean, there are people that just have never heard of, they've never heard of it, this case, you know?
Yeah.
So many people. But, what was I going to say? One more? Oh, what if, I mean, God, I would love to get with those friends and pick their brains.
Oh, I know.
But what if law enforcement told them that they could not talk to anybody because it was an open investigation? Well, they did an interview.
They did do an interview with the New York Times, and I read the article, and that's how we found out that they were at Nancy's on Friday night.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
they were over. Yeah, they were over at Nancy's, and they were playing mahjong on Friday night, and she had told them that she was going to dinner with her daughter the next day, and that she would see them for church on Sunday. So I just can't shake the fact that she was lured out for dinner to her demise at the end of the night. I just can't. I can't shake it. My dog is having little puppy dreams. Can you hear her?
Oh, I can hear.
You can hear like the little squeaks.
Yes, I have to always put my hand on my dog when she does that because I'm like, oh, don't be afraid.
I always think she's scared. Yeah.
I know. Well, it was good talking to you.
You too,
I just wanted to throw those out there. So I appreciate you and all the things you do to help us stay involved.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a nice caller. We have the best callers. 727-755-6001. Hello, you are live on air with Jay. Who am I talking to? Someone who isn't muted. Can you mute?
Hello, you are live on air.
Can you mute your YouTube?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jay?
Hi, it is. Who's this?
Oh my goodness, I actually made it. I've been watching you on YouTube, and
Who is this?
Turn this down.
Yeah, turn it down. Let's talk.
Well, my name is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
And I've been off work for hip surgery.
Oh, well, I hope you're recovering well.
I am.
Good.
And I've been off, and I live in Indiana.
Okay.
And I've been following this case, and I've been watching JLR. I watched I think it's 857 or something.
Yeah, 857 Tucson.
857, and I've been watching all of the searches, but I found your channel as well, and man, do I have a theory.
All right, give it to me.
And I know you have a lot of people that are calling in, and everybody has a theory, but I've heard from the very beginning that Massimo, I call it, just keep it simple, stupid. The garage door was open for 2 minutes. That's what they're saying. Garage door was open for 2 minutes.
Yep.
Who in the hell leaves their house with an Uber with a clicker? Say, oh my God, I forgot my clicker.
Oh.
To open my garage door.
Oh, good point.
Nobody does that.
Good.
Nobody does that. You carry keys to the house. You got a garage door. You have a back door. You have a front door. Nobody leaves their house and says, I forgot my garage door clicker.
Wait a minute. I got something to throw in there. What if her garage door opener was an app on her phone?
And that's a possibility, but she didn't even pay the subscription for the Nest. So why would she pay for a garage door clicker when she didn't pay for the Nest cameras?
if she's not going to pay for a Nest camera, she sure as hell is not going to pay for a garage door opener.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You could be right. You could be right. So let's assume she doesn't.
But what I'm saying is I don't think that garage door ever opened.
You think that's not true?
I don't think that garage door ever opened. I think Massimo did bring her home. He did walk her in and said, "Hey, Mom, I'll see you in the morning. And I'll lock the door on the way out." Walk out the back door, pick up a burner phone, and game on. For that sheriff to clear that family that quickly.
Crazy.
Is crazy.
Crazy.
That is absolutely crazy. I don't know if there's a trust fund. I don't know. I know everything's theory. But look at statistics. There's just the joker that went to the front door, he was just carrying a camera. Back in the day, I used to lay block. Mm-hmm. And I used to take the young guys, and they would come up, and the first day I would tell them, "Hey, go to the truck and get me a bottle of bubbles. I need a new bubble for my level." And they'd spend 2 hours looking for a bubble to put in my level. I would ask him to go get me a block stretcher. That is the guy that was on the front porch.
The low man on the totem pole.
And he was let in. There was no forced entry there. He was let in that front door. He may have been the muscle, but there was somebody else.
Do you think somebody else is there directing? Telling him?
I do believe this, yes. And I do believe somebody else came in the back door knowing it was open and then let him in.
You know, I think you might be right, Steve. I'm thinking now. Back 4 years ago. Listen, 4 years ago, Nancy posted on Facebook that she wanted cameras to watch the wildlife, not because she felt unsafe. So if her garage door opener worked fine, why would she replace it? She didn't get those. She didn't get those cameras for security. She straight up
exactly
said.
Because if you look at JLR and you look at all of the other tubers out there, speaking to the neighbors, all of them consistently state they leave their doors open.
Yeah, they have. Absolutely.
And they feel safe. And this was targeted. Whoever came there knew the back door, I believe, was open. And I'm not a conspiracist or anything, but I feel for the family. Here I am I'm all the way out here in Indiana, but I don't know. I feel for Savannah and their family, but something tells me Nanos has, screwed this one up big time. And
do you think the FBI can salvage it?
Yeah, I think the FBI needs to step in and kick his ass out the door.
I hear you.
Just kick him completely to the side because 98% of his force is against him at this point. And
I know
this guy, he wants to be before the camera. I don't think he's even been to the site.
How about him and his reality show?
Oh my God!
What do you think of that?
He's not a sheriff. He's a politician. He is not a sheriff to me. He's a politician, but he's got people under him
Bing bang.
that lack experience. Number one, they just completely lack experience.
Do you know what I
he
heard?
Went in and cleaned
Steve, do you know what I heard? I heard in an interview that his homicide detectives, they have a lot of cop experience. But do you know the top homicide detective, the most experience they have in homicide is 3 years?
Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
They're all new.
Yeah. That takes years of experience.
That's a problem. I'm sorry. I called you Steve. I'm sorry, Jeff. I called you Steve.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Steve was the previous caller. I'm sorry about that, Jeff.
Well, I like Steve, too. You can call me Steve. But it just, I'm a hardworking guy, you know, just like anybody else out there, you know, making a buck, doing things to your family, and to see this happen to a family is just, this is unreal, and they are not getting. And for that, real quick, for that sheriff to come out and say JLR, and to kind of pinpoint the podcasters, you know, and we don't want you searching and
go home,
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what? Why aren't they having big searches? Put maps out, get groups, get the community together, go through all those washes,
organize it. Yeah.
Organize it and just go search. I mean, and start small and then expand.
Right. Seems pretty simple, right?
And it's pretty simple, but that's not happening. He wants the camera. He wants the camera.
He's a prick. I don't like him at all. I don't find anything likable.
I don't like him at all. But I got to tell you, I will guarantee you his deputies are fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure.
I will guarantee, but they lack experience. His detectives lack experience.
Did you hear the story,
Yes.
Jeff, about the fixed wing aircraft that they have?
No, I have not heard
so
that.
there's a really good interview with the president of the union, and he spilled the beans. It's on Brian Enton's channel, and he said that this sheriff likes to punish people by transferring them. Well, this pilot of this aircraft, he's the only pilot they have. He did something. He was got written up. Well, the sheriff transferred him to another position. So lo and behold, when this thing happened with Nancy, he didn't pull him from that position to use that aircraft. They had to wait 2 to 3 hours to get someone there who could.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's major ego trip.
Yeah. And I guess my biggest point is I'm not one of those people that say, oh, you know, I want to point fingers and say, you know, as they say on JLR's channel, tomato.
Tomato.
Tomato's the guy. I don't want that. But man, statistically, I'm just saying, for the sheriff to clear this family and then to state that I had them cleared by day 2.
Right.
That's asinine.
Cleared on day 2, but they're receiving ransom requests on day 4.
Exactly.
Make it make sense.
And I mean, all the way up to today, it's a circus. Dolly Vision, gotta love Dolly. Dolly's been out there, and God love him. He's got some issues. He's got health issues, and God love him. He's on tonight. The thing about it, why don't they have the place to, if it's a crime scene, tape it off.
Right.
Well, just tape it off.
We got Amazon.
We've got pool guys. You've got pool. Hell, you've got pizza delivery to JLR. You've got. I mean, hell, let's just bring in a circus.
Right. I'm with you.
You know, and just tambourines and everything, and just go right up into the driveway and
tambourine.
This is
right.
Yeah,
but then the family's quiet. This whole circus is going on.
I don't understand this. I'm like, what are you people doing? I don't even have to be a police officer and know that.
Right.
That is 101. Clear the scene.
Let's put Jeff on the case. That's what I think.
This is crazy. I mean, I don't know.
Tambourine.
Nancy Guthrie had some really good stuff. The droplets, yes, they did. They weren't. They were just could have been a nosebleed. It just, came straight down. You could tell by looking at it. I'm not an expert at it, but
I've heard several experts say the same.
That's pretty common sense, but then they just completely disappear. To me, that just tells me if they took it out the front door, it took 2 people because they just picked her up because they're like, look, we're leaving blood. They picked her up and brought her, straight out.
Do
They
you
just
think
picked her
that
straight up and
I have a theory on the crime scene tape. So do you think that maybe the neighborhood, because of the neighborhood, they didn't want to have this yellow crime scene tape up in the neighborhood every day? So instead they put the deputy sitting there thinking that it would be the same effect as crime scene tape, except the deputies are not paying attention? Because I feel like they're avoiding the crime scene tape, but placing that deputy there in place of it,
I think that's their tactic, but
it's not working. Right. Their tactics aren't working.
I mean, this afternoon, there was a lady that drove up delivering flowers.
I laugh, but
and I'm like, and she stated, JLR walked up to her and said, "What are you doing?" And she says, "I don't know what's going on here." She had no clue.
Yeah, I had flowers delivered.
This is the address. Yeah.
I had them delivered yesterday, and no one knew. I had to tell them, this is a house where a missing woman.
Tomorrow you're going to have a cheeseburger that's delivered to the front door.
Yeah, it's nuts. The pool guys.
To the front door.
How about the pool guys?
Sure, why not?
How about the pool guys?
The pool guys, they've been there at least
twice,
two or three times. What's weird is you're going to have freaks that are going to start coming out of the woodworks.
Yeah.
Just like I think the ransom is bullshit. But you're going to have freaks coming out of the woodworks that's going to start saying, screw it, I'll pay a little buck. I'm going to order Uber and have food just shipped there.
They had Wendy's delivered to them tonight, just randomly.
Wendy's. We'll just go ahead and. But I think I don't know. I don't think she's there in the neighborhood at all. I do not. I think it was targeted, and but I think money's involved. But I think and I hate to say this, but I'm not accusing, but I don't think that Annie and Massimo should be out of the mix at this point. They would not, the FBI, have been over there scouring their neighborhood the way they did, and be in their house, doing, doing I forget what it's called,
the ICAC team or whatever.
Yeah,
that's all the digital forensics.
I just don't. There was a reason for that, and I just
can't shake it.
But for them to say, "Oh, they're clear. They're victims."
Yeah, and it's mean. Victims. Don't be mean to them.
Yeah, don't be mean, press, podcasters.
Yeah, don't
go
be
home.
mean.
Hell, you've got a senator out there or somebody else saying, "Go home, podcasters."
Yeah.
I guess News Nation. Oh, News Nation, you can stay. Fox, you can stay.
We're not
the JLR and Dolly and Criminal Network and the rest of them. You all got to go home. You're not news.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
No, this is where people get news. Is your channel, their channel. This is where people are now getting their news. And I got to be honest with you. I'll watch a podcast over watching the TV any day of the week at this point.
Yep.
And I'm 56 years old.
A lot of people have canceled cable. They don't even watch
absolutely.
TV. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Today Show, I didn't even know who Savannah Guthrie was. I'm not going to lie. I had no idea who she was. I'd seen her face.
I didn't either.
But I'd seen her face because my mom would watch,
I had
the Today Show, but
clue.
I didn't know her name.
Yeah, no clue. I have no idea. But I still feel horrible, My heart goes out for them.
Of course.
I pray for the family. Who doesn't? I wish that we would give this much attention to other missing people,
Mm-hmm.
I really do wish we would give this much attention to other people and use the resources. Obviously, we have the resources. We can send 400 to this case of federal FBI. Hell, you could send it to anywhere. Why aren't you doing it? I love Trump, but you got to. let's make this even, go after. You got a lot of people out there missing. Let's go find them.
Yeah. Too many missing out there. Too many missing out there.
There's a lot of people out there. But I just think that Nanos, whew,
he's got to go, man. He's got to go.
He's got to go.
Like he is going to be taken away kicking and screaming like a little toddler.
Exactly. So I mean, there's every kind of theory out there. I get it, and the reason for all of these theories is because you have a sheriff that's not giving press briefings. Instead of giving a one-on-one with this person, and then 5 minutes later giving it with another person and changing his mind on something, give it to everybody. Give a press briefing. No, people aren't asking. The press aren't asking.
He doesn't even know what's going on. He didn't even know that Savannah put out a video. Do you hear that?
He wants the light. He what?
He didn't even know when Savannah put out the first video. He was unaware of it. Someone had to bring it to his attention.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This guy he's a politician. He's not a sheriff. He is not. He just is not. He's going to have to go back to the basics, and he better take the guys that were demoted that had years of experience and bring them back into the mix.
Right. Take that guy off the stupid desk duty.
Yeah. Cash Patel needs to just come in. Cash Patel needs to put a boot in his ass and just send him down the road, come in and take care of this. Because the FBI, if it wasn't for the FBI, he stood there for 3, 4, 5 days and said, there's nothing to see. There's nothing to see.
It's not a crime scene anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing to see. Nothing to see here. Boom. We got a video. FBI. He's already pissed off about the FBI because they investigated him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't want the FBI.
I saw an interview with him where he was like, where does the FBI getting off saying they don't have any comment? Yeah, he doesn't like them.
To clear the family, and I know you have a lot of listeners that are wanting to chime in, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but I want to make it clear, I don't believe that garage door ever opened. There was no forced entry.
Yeah.
No forced entry.
Yeah, no. Back door wide open from what we heard.
They've had, Fox Nation everybody had their drones in the back. You could see there was no forced entry. You got a double lock door on the front that was impenetrable. You got a back door that's a standard garage door. There was no busted wood. It was just painted green or whatever. It wasn't kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
That door was unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
She took an Uber to Annie's, but they bring him back. Okay, supposedly he had a music session where he was practicing, I guess. That's what I heard. And then he brought her home. First of all, they said she came for dinner and they played games on a Saturday night.
Yep.
I don't think that woman was a game player. First of all, she lost her husband.
Well, she played mahjong. She played mahjong.
She did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Her friends that played mahjong with her were interviewed.
So she did play. But what I'm getting at is the most important is I think that he brought her home, walked her in. I don't know of
That's
anybody
not what he said, though. He didn't say that. According to TMZ, on day 2, they said Tommaso brought her home, sat in the car, she got out, walked in, and then he drove away. He didn't even go in, he said. In the very beginning.
No, but what they were saying is that the garage door opened for 2 minutes.
Yeah, meaning I think he wants us to believe that she walked in the 2 minutes.
You tell me one person because I don't know of anybody, that leaves their house with keys to the back garage door and the front door.
Mm.
Who leaves their house and says, oh, hell, I forgot my clicker? I mean, she didn't pay her subscription to the Ring door camera. She's probably not going to pay to get a subscription to the garage door open for sure. You have keys to get in. But the garage door was open for 2 minutes. I don't believe that garage door ever opened. I believe he did walk her in. If it comes down to it.
You know
and
what
said,
I think?
Hey, Mom.
I think he did open it.
I'll lock the door when I leave.
I do think he opened it. I think he did, and I think he pulled his ass in.
Yeah, and all it takes is a burner phone. When he leaves, all it takes is a burner phone. Okay, guys, green light. She didn't give me the money to pay my gambling debts, or I mean, he's a school teacher, $650,000 house. 1 year later, she hasn't made a penny. He's on a school teacher salary, $650,000. They're not going to be able to afford anything.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Well, I've got other people trying to chime in here, Jeff. I don't want to cut you off, but I really appreciate you. Thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts.
Okay. Well, listen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
God bless you, and everyone out there.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Have a wonderful, you too as well.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Jeff. Okay. It's getting late. I'm going to take another call. Here we go. Sorry, that one was long. I'll take a couple more. There's a couple of you trying to get through. I'll take a couple more. Hello, you are live on the air with Jay. Who am I talking to?
Hey, this is Phoenix.
This is who?
Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Is that your name or is that where you're from?
I mean, neither, but...
Okay. Hi, Phoenix.
My name. Yeah, thanks.
What's up? What's on your mind?
Jay, what's up?
Not much.
So some of what the last guy said kind of does resonate with me. I used to Uber from my house a lot, and coincidentally also from Indiana. And it might be a regional thing, but yeah, when you're not taking your clicker with you, you just leave the door unlocked. So
you agree with that? You think that could have happened?
Yeah, I think that's a very likely possibility.
What door, though?
So, what's that?
What door do you think she was going in and out of?
I guess probably a door around the back, like behind. I'm just thinking what I would have done is either if you got a door into your garage, that you leave that unlocked, or if you had a door in the back of the house, you leave that unlocked.
Yeah, like the service door to the garage.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's usually what I would always do.
See, I kind of pictured like that little U driveway that pulls right up to her front like walkway. I'm like, that might be where I would drop off. But then there's that little step there, so maybe that makes it a little more difficult. But go ahead. Well, what else?
All right, so I'm trying to. I've been listening to you a lot, and I mean, because I listen to you a lot, I've been listening to JLR a lot. I'm homies with CN.
With who?
CN, Criminal Network.
Oh, you're a friend of Criminal Networks. Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, we're Delphi people.
So you followed the Delphi case with Criminal Network. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know him as CN. I'm still learning all these people. So
he's a good dude.
I like CN.
Yeah, and it's great that he's getting out the word on Delphi every chance he gets. He's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really like to go after like family type of situations, but I know what the audience is here. So I do think there are some major red flags with the official narrative of what happened in regards to like what happened, like the we don't have the Uber driver. Like we don't know who the Uber driver is.
Like who picked her up
really
for real?
Uber driver exists. We have no interviews with the Uber driver. That's a huge red flag. These are narratives that only come from Annie and Tommaso. So, I mean, unless there's some situation where he's like under seal.
That's a good point.
Wouldn't we have heard from this guy? Like everybody else, we've heard from a lot of people, and they're usually willing to come forward. We have no evidence that there actually was an Uber driver.
Yeah, I wondered that too. Like, was it a male? Was it a female? I mean, who picked her up? I think it was all a ruse. I don't think there was an Uber.
But like I said, I've taken a lot of Ubers. I mean, it's almost certain, like vast majority is male drivers, but I don't know why that's particularly important.
Well, you know what else? If she needed assistance, I mean, an Uber's not typically, they pull up and they expect you to come out. Now, I don't know, someone said there's Uber Assist. I don't know what that is, but typically, you know, they're not going to get out of the car and come help some elderly woman down the walkway.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either, but I mean, obviously, like, if I was an Uber driver, I would certainly be willing to assist anybody.
I mean, you'd want to help them, but I'm saying too, it's a liability as well. You know, I don't know how that.
I mean,
works.
I've got Uber to like airports, and they're always friendly and helpful with like helping with luggage. So I don't think it's much of a stretch to.
It just seems odd to me. It just isn't fitting. I don't know.
Well, I mean, my bigger problem with it, there's no evidence that it ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also got, so I was kind of like questioning this. I've seen you tweet about it a few times. The report that there was, like, their official missing date is the day before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and so it's not an official, it's not actually the Tama Sheriff County website, but it is legitimate, and it's hosted by, in other words, transferred through different websites, but it does originate from them.
Yeah, so why would the date be 1:31 at 7 p.m.? I mean, there was a 5 o'clock, a 6 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock.
See, this is where I don't want to, like, point fingers at family, but I mean, if you want to speculate, I think that there's room here to speculate that if you lied about anything regarding Uber driver or dinner, they immediately clock you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just trying to figure out who else is involved.
Right, because an Uber is pretty easy to prove.
It would be, yeah, absolutely.
And they never said who ordered the Uber. We got nothing.
We have nothing. We have no Uber ride, and we have no Uber driver. We have lots of everything else, or not lots, but like a fair amount of everything else, of people coming forward and talking.
Right.
Like,
it seems like it would be harmless for them to come out and be like, I was the one that drove her home, picked her up.
It's not harmless. Like, do you want to get your time in the spotlight, the limelight? Like,
maybe they don't.
You want your 2 minutes of fame for being the Uber driver, and it's just a ghost? That's a little bit weird.
It is weird. You know what else is weird? Now that we're talking about this, it's been 3 weeks. Where's the date lines on this case? Where's the 2020s? Where's the 48 hours? Why aren't they spotlighting
Well,
this shit?
maybe they spend so many resources just going out there.
Why aren't they showcasing this on those shows? I mean, they might be. Maybe I didn't see it, but usually
No. I think that's actually a good point. It's a weird dynamic where,
I mean,
they want a lot of attention in this direction, but they're not actually deep diving into anything.
Right.
Like even if you expand it to Inside Edition, like it'd be easy to deep dive into JLR, but they're not even doing that. Like,
yeah, it's like nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of hands off, expected in this situation that shouldn't be expected.
I agree. Well, and then you take the sheriff coming out saying, "Don't be mean. Don't be mean."
You also have the sheriff.
They're victims.
You also have the sheriff's department saying, "Don't look for her," and completely misrepresenting what trespassing is, and misrepresenting a lot of things, but searching for a lost person or searching for a lost cat or dog is very well protected in every inch of the United States. You have a lot of leeway to just go about your business and do that, and go up to people's doors and look around. You cannot just trespass all over somebody's property, but most times you're very well protected unless you're asked to leave.
Right.
I mean, they're misrepresenting what authority they have to even tell people to do that, whether they are Mexican or not. That's not relevant. That's not relevant to the law whether somebody is Mexican. You can walk up to somebody's door with a valid purpose. It doesn't matter whether you're Mexican.
So, bottom line, what do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Yeah, what's your thing?
I'm a person that doesn't ever really say what I really think happened. Kind of like rank theories. So if I'm going to rank my top leading theory, I'm a little bit inclined to say that I think because statistics do matter, that family involvement is often highly overlooked because it's heavily weighted as being involved. So I think it's a very convenient coincidence that Nancy left the house that night on the same night that she was abducted.
I agree.
There's a lot of potential there, which aligns with very heavy statistics as far as who might be involved.
Right.
I'm
picking up what you're laying down.
If I just had to say one thing, I'd say I think that I would lean towards Tommaso, and by extension, I think it's hard to divide them, Annie, being involved, and that there's some LE awareness that is the case. But because you haven't seen action on that yet, that there's good evidence that might lead it to lead them to believe that other people are involved, and they haven't figured that part out yet.
Yep. I'm with you on that, too. I'm with you on that. And I think it's going to take a minute.
Well, I mean, that's the problem, because you can put people under pressure pretty quickly and pretty vigorously anytime you want. And as far as we know, that hasn't happened. So, I mean, the way that you figure out, like, who else is involved is you arrest those people, and then you press them.
Right.
For who else.
Do you
is
think
involved.
the Range Rover has anything to do with Nancy's case?
The Range Rover, I mean, I think I have no opinion on it. I really have no idea. I mean, I've seen, I mean, I don't put a lot of weight on, like, visual comparisons to anything. So, like, yeah, you can show me his eyebrows match up, and sure, that's, like...
Well, I mean, they definitely took that car and put evidence tape on it for something, whether it was related to Nancy or not.
That was weird.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. That was a weird situation where you're like, no, it's not even the evidence tape. The tarp of, like...
The tarp, yeah.
Shielding whatever's in the back. That's the thing.
That's the only time they cover that is when there's a dead body or blood. You know?
Right.
That was weird.
It's at least something. Like,
was that supposed to spook someone? Like, if they were watching, that they'd be like, oh, you know, is she, you know what I mean? Like,
I do think there's, like, a strong potential element of, is what LE is doing trying to, like
a show?
Generate something.
Mm-hmm. I get that feeling as well.
I think that occurs. And that does occur very often. I think that it's potentially occurred many times throughout this case. But
I feel like a lot of it
they're trying to scare up something and
make somebody make a move, or
extended to all the ransom shit and the letters and stuff. We have no actual evidence that any of that shit exists. Nothing.
Right.
We have TMZ saying they have something is literally zero.
Right.
They never said anything. Never quote anybody. They are not journalists. They do not, like, quote unquote report anything. It's just them saying it.
Yeah. And, you know, the search warrants, too, that would...
Many times, and many times on this particular case, where they just say shit, and it was completely wrong.
Right. I agree.
I mean, they reported on the permit thing by stream sniping JLR. That's not journalism. Like, literally nobody said.
No, it's a joke. But you know what would tell us some clues is those search warrants that they got for Annie's car and for Nancy's car. I would love to see the probable cause for those search warrants, but they're sealed. We're literally getting nothing. Nothing.
Correct. We're literally getting nothing. And that's a huge red flag in any case, is when they start stealing stuff, and this happened in Delphi. This happened against Richard Allen. They immediately start stealing everything because they do not want to say anything because they know that there's something weird going on.
Yeah.
So the conclusion is there's something weird going on.
That's the conclusion.
And we're left to figure it out. And that's when you start getting tons of speculation.
Yeah, it gets wild.
Because there absolutely is something weird going on.
We just don't know what.
We don't know what. We have to speculate. And that then we're not at fault for speculating because they're causing us to speculate.
Yep, and that's what happens when they're secretive like this. Happened with Idaho 4 big time too. Delphi and Idaho 4 are really good examples of when they're not giving any information. You know, I go back to Idaho 4 and it really pisses me off when Chief Fry told all those kids at that college, there's not a threat to the public. When they didn't know who in the hell did that, you know? So I learned a lot from watching that and then watching The Secrets in Delphi. It's frustrating, and it just seems like the same mistakes keep getting made by being so damn tight-lipped like that.
Well, are they mistakes or are they purposeful? Is a big thing.
True.
Is what is Ellie trying to actually accomplish by acting this way?
Right.
Because a lot of times they are trying to accomplish something, and like more or less they're being successful by doing that.
I couldn't imagine though, like being a neighbor of Nancy and seeing this video released by the FBI with no context, really. You know, you've got a weird guy with no backpack, then one with a backpack. Your neighbor's missing, and no one is telling you anything. You know, the sheriff. Oh, I don't know if I can't say there's not a threat to the public. You know, it's like,
oh, the no threat to the public thing is a huge.
I hate that.
That's a huge trigger for me. Like, if you can't say anything and something terrible just happened, then there probably is a huge threat to the public. You're just lying about it because you want people to not freak out about it. But it's also completely a lie.
Yeah. And there's always a motive behind it. Like in Idaho, I think it was because they didn't want all the college students to leave. They were worried about, you know, their, whatever you call it, their numbers. But it makes me mad because I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. And I just don't know what you would do. Like if I was their neighbor, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no threat. So you're telling me this guy only targeted Nancy. How do you know that? How do you know he's not going to target my mom who lives next door, you know?
Right. No, that's
I don't like it.
Fair. Yeah, no, and nobody should like it. Like, the law enforcement should not treat the public this way.
No, it's like insulting to our intelligence.
Flatly lying when there's definitely threats, and or they are definitely lying about what's going on.
Yeah.
That should not be the dynamic at all, ever.
I agree. Well, thank you for calling in. I got someone that's incessantly trying to reach me, so I want to thank you. And much love to you.
All right. Everybody should check out CN, Criminal Network.
Yeah.
And Delphi, because free Rick Allen.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
That was a friend of Criminal Network who is also a friend of the channel. Thank you for calling in. 727. Here we go. 631. There you are. Last call of the night, guys. Last call for alcohol. Hello. You are live on the air with Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Hey,
this is Sandy Pants. How are you?
Hey, Sandy Pants, can I get you to turn down your YouTube?
Yeah. I'll definitely turn off my YouTube. I'll go into another room.
Okay.
So, first things first, kudos to you for the Kayla angle. I did, the relationship between her and Savannah, so I was, I kind of got attracted to your podcast because you were covering a lot of content. You were bringing in a lot of stuff to like a central location. So it was very helpful. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I know you got to cater to a lot of people. You got a lot of different subscribers with a lot of different stuff. But if I could just ask you with the Kayla thing, when was she jailed? She's sort of in jail now. Was she jailed before this on some probation or drug charge, or was she jailed?
Okay, so last year in 2025, her and Luke were actually pulled over at Walmart. They were in the Walmart parking lot. They were approached in Walmart. They had drug paraphernalia, And that was where they were both charged. They had like guns and drugs and all kinds of shit, right? So that she was a no-show to her hearings in 2025, Kayla.
Wow.
So we don't know how she got picked up, but she was picked up, I think, on the 13th. And then the raid was on. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it was for failure to appear was what she was picked up for. And she's just sitting.
Okay. All right. So great. Like, all right. So just a real quick thing. My theory. I'm all about, a family. It's a local thing, in my opinion. It's Tomas and Annie, or Luke and Kayla, and they're either hiring like a really cheap $20,000, guy to do the job. I don't think it's any more than two people doing the actual removal of Nancy. Now the Derek thing, the guy that sends in the text to both Annie and Tomas, I think it's so. He wasn't looking for the money. He didn't even have a Bitcoin address on the thing.
True.
He sent it to those two, in my opinion, to provide cover for Tomasa Annie, if they're in fact the ones. Like, hey, look, we're receiving a ransom note here, and then he calls Tomas or 9 seconds. So I was always fishy from the very beginning. Why would somebody just interject themselves? I mean, I know there's people that do crazy stuff, but why go with those two guys, Chris and those two guys, the interview room? Why would you would go to Savannah? Like if you wanted to, get a reply, why would you go right to?
You'd go where the money's at, right?
You go with the money is. So that was all for. So I, like Chris on the interview show room, I'm not letting go of Derek. And I thought for sure they'd squeeze him, because now if you got a dead body, that guy is just as good for the body as anybody else involved, even if he's just made, because now he's an accomplice, and I thought for sure they would have gotten something out of him. But when you brought up the Kayla thing, I was like, oh, this could be the Luke and Kayla thing. So I love JR going that golf course. Do you know, has that golf course been like thoroughly searched?
No.
Like grid-wise? No. So that's kind of crazy to me, because that's a big space, right?
Big,
like
5,000 acres.
Yeah, and I agree with all calls. I mean, listen, you can't let everybody go running around haphazardly. But yes, like you said, they should at least organize something with some deputies and let the people feel good, and search a large area. So I'm in agreement with that.
How can that hurt, right? How can that hurt?
Oh no, it can only help, because at least you show you're doing something.
Right, and it builds the morale of the community up. They feel like something's being done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I'm a big true crime. I live out in Long Island here, and we have the List, Long Island serial guy, and so me and my partner, we went to see John Ray, who was the original attorney for the Shannon Gilbert.
Love John Ray,
which was
love him.
He's crazy.
I love
I thought
him.
I did too. Listen, I liked what he did to get that 911 call finally publicized, which was which was ridiculous why they wouldn't show that. So I gave him a lot of credit for that. I met him in person. I went for like a 2-hour thing. He went off the rails.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he went off the rails. He's off the reservation. I mean, because he's off the case. And because he's got no client.
He did so much good, though. He did so much good for those girls.
But you lose credibility when you start to. He's going after anyway, I don't want to mix up cases. We're on one case.
All
I'd
right.
love to talk to you about
another
that.
day for that.
I'm really
one.
good with it. All right. So let's move on. All right. So Annie, on the who says, "Mama, come home." Like she has some control of getting home. She has no control of getting home. You would say, "Mom, we're looking for you. We're gonna get you." Right? Like who says, "Mama, come home"? I mean, I don't know. I just didn't like her. I didn't like her body. People handle grief and stressful situations in all different ways.
Yeah.
But when Annie was saying that, it kind of, like Savannah was saying, Mom, she was talking to the kidnapper. She's a beautiful person. Talk to her. Mom, you're strong. God's on your side. Everything else. And then the other one saying, Mom, come home. Like how is Mom going to come home? Mom can't. Mom didn't want to leave home, right? So anyway, and if I was Tomas, I don't care what. Nobody can hold you back from standing up and promoting your innocence. I'd be the first guy up there, like, hello, this is who I am. And I didn't do this. I don't care what they, So now the sheriff, he's got a tough job, right? I get it. Now he doesn't want the spotlight. In my opinion, nobody wants this mess. I mean, yeah, you want to clean it, you want to solve it, but you don't want this mess, right? Everybody, so many eyes on you. Real suspicious on the 2 things or 3 things that he's not doing. So he walks back. Tomas dropping her off, right? Walks that back. Like either he dropped her off or he didn't. The family, it's so suspicious. It makes everybody start wondering. Why won't you just say, all right, so he's trying to protect the guy? I mean, if you're innocent, you're innocent, So he does that. Then he says, he doesn't clear, he goes to clear him, doesn't clear him, but they got no problem hanging Carlos. I mean, yeah, we cleared Carlos, but that doesn't mean he didn't do it. Like, they're still on, but they won't say anything about Tomas. Now, the only reason I can see that is, as you know, in investigations, you don't want these guys to lawyer up, play them up, so you make them feel free. You're like, okay, guy, you're not under suspicion, we're just talking. Like, you get them comfortable. I really believe, my heart of hearts, and I've been wrong, right? So I believe that they hired somebody, right? Like some bandmate, whatever you want to call it, somebody that just, one, can't be more than 2 people, otherwise somebody would have cracked by now, and just take her away. This was never a kidnapping. This was always about getting rid of Annie, not because of resentment, in my opinion. It has to do about money. I believe this has everything to do with getting inheritance, getting the house earlier, whatever the case may be, maybe a threat to be taken off the inheritance. I don't know, but this thing stinks. There's no way it's a kidnapping unless this is like a Fargo kind of thing. This is like Home Alone. This is a real mess. One of you highlighted somebody's theory on a couple of law enforcement people or profilers that indicated that this could be a couple disorganized, fighting, and I just sort of see Luke and Kayla for this. I'm not saying they did it, but I love JR going. If that guy Luke is hanging out at that 55,000 acres, why wouldn't you search the hell out of that place?
Yeah, good point.
What else have we
Good
got?
point.
Sheriff, detention. What was this? Tom defend. Oh, I like I said, he would. Why not defend yourself? If everybody in the world is talking and mocking about you, why wouldn't you stand up and defend yourself?
Right.
There is nothing to of course, there's nothing that's going to make you do that, but there's nothing that would prevent you from doing that. I can't see in any way how that would hurt the case if you got up there and proclaimed. The guy's in a band. He's got no problem performing, right? So he can get in front. It's not that he's shy.
He's a teacher. I mean, he stands in front of a class every day. So
yeah, and if I thought my reputation, like I give the sheriff a little bit of credit in a sense, like a leeway, I'll say, because he's got to provide a little bit of cover for them. God forbid the guy's not guilty of it, right? You don't want to, defame this guy. And, but there's nothing, timeline, right? Now, I mean, I don't know where you're going off with the Uber thing. The Uber thing is real easy to track. I have a neighbor. You're a dog lover. I have a dog. My neighbor has a dog. She just actually turned 84 at the same time that Nancy did, around like the end of January. I pick her up. She has her own car. She can drive, but we take our dogs to a dog park. And I pick her up with the dog, and we go. And I get out. She's able, right? She can move around. So I mean, I'm no jerk, but I sit in the car. She walks out, and she gets into her house. I don't walk her into the house. I don't walk her out. So I totally get that 2 minutes, a code. I don't know if it's been reported that whether he could open that up with his phone or there's a code pad on the garage door. Do you know that? Like, is there a pad that? No.
I don't know.
So that's if it's a pad, it's reasonable. You get there, click, click, click. The door opens. You walk to the next door, which is the door into the house, and you hit the button that closes the door behind you. That's a 2-minute thing. She's not, she could go 50 feet. They said, she's going to her friends. She's going to watch church. They're not, picking her. She's living by herself. She doesn't have an aide. She's not running marathons. So, she's not going to run away. The blood, if you look at the floor, the blood is pulled closer to the door, almost as if there's a hesitation at the door, like we're either coming in or going out. And then it kind of, moves out. I know you think, if you look at the crime scene, there's no, when the guy's bit, what's the dog's name? Bella? No. That's okay. Is it Bella? That's cool. Yeah, she might be onto something.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're onto something.
It's all good. So the blood, right? So I know you were saying the blood and the blood's on top.
The flowers.
Yeah. So the flowers, they're thin rags or whatever the weeds or flowers. The blood obviously goes to the ground, right? And I see that the blood is after the flowers. Let's just say I can't define either way. I can't say definitively one way or the other. I mean, when the guy's up there, if the guy is up there and the blood's already there, he's stepping in it, right? If you're saying that the blood's there first, and then the flowers are on top of the blood, then the footprints would be right, because he's right there at, playing around with the thing, and he's wearing sneakers or shoes, so there would be footprints. There's no footprints in the blood, so that we can see anyway. So I'm believing that the rags are there first, the weeds are there first. I'm believing that 41 minutes is them coaxing her out of there, like trying to move her out of there. She's not moving fast, I believe this is always a kidnapping to, not for ransom, but like a kidnap/murder. Like, take her out, unfortunately, get rid of her, but make it look like a kidnapping. Which then, because who sends, this is not a real kidnapping, right? Nobody's leaving. A real kidnapping, you're leaving a note. You leave it like you want the money in and out. You don't want to hold the body. So the note coming 2 or 3 days later, then knucklehead from California sending like, oh yeah, like that smells bad. Now I gotta believe that his connections through either bands or whatever. I know they're both in the music, the one in California and him. I just see something there. That's what I see.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for giving me all this time.
Yeah, Sandy Bottoms.
I get you a little hard time because I'm all about the facts.
Hey, give me a hard time all you want. I am here for it. I like you, Sandy Bottoms, Sandy Pants.
Don't say that. My girl's watching and she's already
What's
jealous.
her name?
She's like,
What's
you want
her
to
name?
take Jennifer.
Oh, that's
she's
my
listening
name too,
right now in the other
Jennifer.
room.
You want one Jennifer or two Jennifers? We have two Jennifers. Hi, Jennifer. I have a sound bite for that.
Is one Jennifer?
Oh, boy. She's, let me see if she's still listening. Is she mad at me?
Jennifer.
Oh, I hear my laugh dog.
You in trouble, Sandy. You're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I'm in real big trouble. But thank you so much for your coverage. I really do appreciate it, and all good stuff. And thanks. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Sandy.
And I'm on record. It's family. It's local. It's, those two couples, and they're hiring, either Tomas and Annie are hiring a knucklehead for $20,000, or Luke and Kayla are doing it with one of their druggy buddies. And that's my story.
And I'm going to piggyback off you, and this is on record. I think that there could be an affair involved in an open marriage. And maybe that's how all four are connected.
Oh, really?
Sleep on that one, Sandy. Sleep on that one.
All right. All right. I'll talk to you later. Have a great night.
See you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. I think that's a great time to wrap this call-in show up. Gosh, it was amazing. We're going to have to do this again. Thank you so much, Sandy. Thank you, everybody that called in tonight. You guys I have some amazing listeners, man. And I have some amazing moderators who are here tonight, modding for me through all of this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jennifer.
I had to add that in. I had to. Remember, that's at the end of this stream. When this all comes to fruition, me and Sandy are going to be like, we called it. We called it. Well, everybody, if you're replaying, I hope you enjoyed the stream. And you guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. For replay purposes, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. But I will see you guys tomorrow. We will be possibly dual streaming tomorrow. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. We've got Corey Richens tomorrow. We've got Nancy tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow at some point. My chair had a tail. Yeah, my doggo. Summer's back there. Thank you, Kels, for the super chat. And thank you guys for your support. Thank you to Cinderelli as well for your super sticker. She says, amazing show. Thank you, guys. This has been really nice. And it's nice getting to hear you guys. So you guys always having to hear me. So thank you. I love you guys. Thank you, moderators. Let's go ahead and dance this one out on this Sunday night. We haven't danced it out in a while. Let's dance it out. Good night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Like and subscribe. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.
That's okay for me, 'cause